possession is yours to choose. You can even pick the time and place. Girl, don't come now. The time is now to show your sin. Honey, the cards are on the table, baby. You know we can go all in. Girl, don't fall now. Here I am. Oh, now, yeah. 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 Oh, now. Yes, sir. This is so dedicated to all the goddamn. Shake it. Yes, now I know you be tripping on these words that I'm saying. Song goes on with each chord that I'm playing. Girls, we skanking through them roots baseline. Come around, let me hit it one more time. Know you be tripping on these words that I'm saying. Song goes on with each chord that I'm playing. Girls, we skanking through them roots baseline. Come around, let me hit it one more time. Oh, now, yeah. Oh, now, yeah. Oh, now.
KUAM FM Hagåtña, Guam. You're listening to The Link with Chris and Sabrina on Breeze 93.9.
Kosinya uli di sombranza tanmak etsu ita saluda antes de niga Radzaudzan malak estrezas durante todo em memu a nogi distância como kupugi palu zaniman malak guafi ikonum nasugi airi prebatu la noci nai banderata gaigi pues atan fanni bandera kau esta pagua pumalalapa gilo tanu man libri sentamiti man ko badi
Fanogi chamoru politanota kantai matuno nyagi toru iluga Paraiona parai gloria a big is la senpai Paraiona
sia uli di sombranza e zu ita saluda antes di niga radzalzan like estrezas durante todo em mim.
Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time.
Happy holidays, we hope you have a great time. Let's celebrate these good times, memories of a lifetime. Hear the bells jingle, it's Christmas time on the islands. The season's far from silent, everybody's smiling. Take a look around the island, mistletoes and jelly rolls, eggnog and alcohol. Let's have a good time, just don't get out of line. Sip some wine with some family and friends. Next year, same plan, we're gonna do it again.
Merry Christmas to you. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time. Christmas to you. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time. Christmas to you. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time. Christmas to you. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time.
Let's get like gypsies, hang out, get tipsy. JetBlues might diss me, never heard me Christmas Eve, but still you're listening. Decorate your Christmas tree, wrap up those gifts for kids. Jump into that Christmas spirit, oh you do Hanukkah. It's all good, come chill with us. Let's smoke that, enjoy that cool buzz. Turn on those Christmas lights, put aside your family fights. You know the feeling's right, let's have a good time.
Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time.
To you.
Let's have a good time.
Savage K, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, and good morning, Guam. Time 6:12 in the morning on this Friday. Woo-hoo. We made it. Good morning, guys.
On the DJ Joser cam, we have got colors we have never seen before yet in the sky. Sir, good shot, Joser. All right, we got beautiful sky colors and wicked feedback.
Where is that coming from? Okay.
Sorry, it's my phone.
Oh, gee, I think I made that mistake yesterday too. Oh, gee.
It's early.
Good morning, guys. 6:12. You're tuned into The Link, another edition. Remember, the show probably brought to you by Cowboy Enterprises and ITE. We are back with another show with an awesome lineup today. We'll get to that lineup coming up in just a little bit. News, that's on the way as well. But good morning. Our hosts here, the one and only Serene Sauce Matanani, Jason Solis, Joseph in studio, and in the Zoom room we have Andy Wheeler and myself, Victorious.
Okay,
Welcome.
I
Good
have
morning.
something to ask because I need clarification on something, guys. Was there or was there not a earthquake this morning? Did you guys feel it, chat room? These guys seem to have
felt
felt
it,
it.
yeah.
I did not.
I felt something.
Felt it too.
I didn't see anything on the U.S. Geological website.
Yeah, usually the U.S. Geological Survey, I mean, like within 5 minutes of a seismic
Right?
event happening, like they'll at least have, how it happened on the Richter scale, how far away it was, what the depth was, I mean, all that scientific stuff and everything like that. Nothing. So, have you guys felt it? Because Joe Sir said he felt it, right, sir? Bree said she felt it. Andy said he felt. They were all still in bed. I was already at work. I didn't feel a thing.
Oh, that's because you were busy, bro. Thanks, bro.
You're probably walking around, kind of thing.
But it's crazy because it happened like what 4 or 5 ish.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
And then I went and checked right then. I just went and checked the Google and nothing popped up. So I was like, "Oh, am I crazy? Oh, I guess it's time to wake up then."
Yeah.
Okay, Landon Idlip from the National Weather Service, he's messaging me on WhatsApp. He sent me I'll try and show everybody this. Look at that. That's his lights because he is now setting up. He's got something special for you guys next Monday when he comes on. Let me show you guys. Here's.
You guys said he was like big on lights, and I think was it this week we went to his brother? Was that his is that Landon?
Yeah, Brandon's twin brother.
Landon and Brandon.
Brandon.
Okay, but hey, Landon, since you're watching and since we know you're on the horn, was there an earthquake this morning, bro?
I was about to ask.
Yeah, I mean he'd know too. Okay, so very, very nice lights, and that's just the tip of the iceberg at Chateau Aiglet of the So let us know, guys. Was there a
Yeah, people are saying that there was,
Okay.
an earthquake, that they felt it. Teresa
I felt it,
Estrada,
Jason.
I felt the earthquake this early morning.
Kelly Schlarb also says I felt the earthquake, and Shantae Afflegy says yes, around 4. Okay, so maybe I don't have my sea legs today. Yeah. I mean, if you guys have ever seen the way I walk, I mean, because I'm so awkward and I'm so lanky, if these guys did an impersonation of me of the way I walk, I would look like a giraffe that needs to pee.
We were
like
saving
rushing
for the
somewhere.
Christmas party, but I guess we're gonna do it virtually this year.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Peter Regis says specifically, yes at 4:04 a.m. Okay, and then Landon, authoritatively, he says there was an earthquake, but I slept through it, and then, woohoo! Hands up emoji. Nice. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So thank you for the clarification. There was in fact an earthquake. We have not heard anything yet. Thank the good Lord above about any damages, any power outages or utility damages, things of that nature. Nobody hurt, so good news there.
Okay. So let's get right into the news.
let's do it.
All right. It is day 2 of the COVID-19 Pfizer vaccine clinics at Okudu High School. Today and tomorrow, Public Health is hosting the vaccination clinic for priority groups again at Okudu High. On Thursday, 3 healthcare professionals were first in line to take the shot. Adriana Catero was there and has the story.
3, 2, 1.
It's a historic day, a day government officials say is the beginning to the end of the pandemic.
Where finally we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
This morning, the first COVID-19 vaccines were administered at Okudu High School. Gowned in proper PPE, 3 public health nurses pulled the needles out of the vials and injected 3 healthcare professionals. Public Health's Immunization Program Medical Advisor, Dr. Robert Leon Guerrero, who was joined with Public Health Director Art San Augustine and Nurse Research Command, Xenia Pacina.
I started praying since last night when they told me I was going to get it. I'd be the first one. I started praying since then. And my sleep was kind of restless, but I think I'll be able to sleep better tonight.
Sleep better tonight after receiving the COVID-19 Pfizer vaccine. Dr. Leon Guerrero's nerves were setting, but he encourages everyone to get the vaccine.
I was scared. I mean, I won't lie to you. I know it was good. I wanted to do it. It's just I was scared. I want to go back to where it was before. And without this vaccine, it's not going to happen. Without this vaccine, you're not going to be able to hug other people outside your house.
Feeling emotional, Zena says while we are still in a state of emergency, this vaccine gives Guam hope.
We started back in March, and it was such a gloomy day. I will not forget the first day that they called us in, and we thought, oh my gosh, this is the end of the world, it's the end of the world. People talk about getting back to the state of normalcy. I don't want a state of normalcy, I want normal.
And this is just the start. Public Health's vaccine clinic doors officially opened today with vaccinations to continue through Saturday. As we reported, the 3 prioritized groups include healthcare professionals, frontline responders, and those 65 years or older with comorbidities. Governor Lou Leon Guerrero expressing gratitude to Public Health for the endless hours of hard work to contain the virus.
And I just want to tell the people of Guam, Public Health has your back. And Public Health is the authority that will get us through this pandemic.
Ukadu High School is just one of the first designated vaccine clinics here on Guam. Vaccines will also be distributed at Guam Memorial Hospital and Guam Regional Medical City. Clinic doors reopen Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then 21 days from now, the recipients will return for their second dose.
Get the vaccine. If you want to hug your family, if you want to be at your loved one's bedside when they pass, get the vaccine.
Vaccine could be authorized any day now. It comes as the U.S. set new records for daily cases and deaths Wednesday, more than 247,000 new daily infections and more than 3,600 deaths. Naomi Rukum reports.
Moderna's coronavirus vaccine faces a key hurdle Thursday as it seeks emergency use authorization from the Food and Drug Administration. Moderna's coronavirus vaccine faces a key hurdle Thursday as it seeks emergency use authorization from the Food and Drug Administration. An independent FDA advisory committee is meeting virtually to review the vaccine's safety and efficacy.
Today's VRPAC meeting continues FDA's commitment to an expedited review process that is transparent, scientifically sound, and data-driven.
The FDA says the vaccine overall is 94% effective. It's 86% effective in people 65 and over. Moderna's vaccine requires 2 doses, just like the Pfizer vaccine. But unlike Pfizer's, Moderna's vaccine does not require ultra-cold temperatures for storage. It can be stored in a regular freezer. During the meeting, the FDA also addressed reports that 2 healthcare workers in Alaska experienced adverse allergic reactions to the Pfizer vaccine. One fully recovered, while the other had to be hospitalized.
These cases underscore the need to remain vigilant during the early phase of the vaccination campaign.
And there seems to be more doses of Pfizer's vaccine than previously thought. After thawing and mixing the vaccine, it turns out there are up to 2 extra doses per vial, which the FDA says are safe to use.
The manufacturer, as we understand it, was trying to be particularly cautious. But what we've learned is that if you follow the manufacturer's directions very specifically, you actually have 6 full doses in each vial.
That means that hundreds more doctors, nurses, and support
15 out of 523 tests performed returned positive for COVID. This brings Guam's current COVID case count to 7,183, with 484 active cases, more than 6,500 recoveries, and 119 deaths. 30 people are currently hospitalized with the virus, with 9 under ICU level of care, 6 are on ventilators. The CAR score slightly gone up to 1.7. More federal aid is on the way for workers affected by the pandemic. The Department of Labor batched a total of $11.6 million Thursday, which is expected to get into the hands of the people by Christmas for cleared PUA claims through December 9th. Labor Director David De La Sola says his team took on the immense project of clearing more than 2 months' worth of unemployment claims, and he's proud to say it was a success. Claimants can expect their payments out by next week. In addition, DOL also aims to batch another LWA payment by December 22nd for all cleared LWA claims through the 9th. The agency, meanwhile, is continuing to work on identifying and addressing applicants who have yet to receive their initial PUA payment amount and encourages applicants to email pua.hotline@dol.guam.gov with the subject line reading Urgent Initial Claim Payment Request. You're asked to include your full name and claim number. For all other issues, you are urged to call 311. Millions of Americans, in the meantime, are heading into the holidays uncertain about their economic future, and now several 100,000 more have joined the list of unemployed. Natalie Brandt has more details on the latest COVID stimulus deal.
The government announced 885,000 Americans filed new unemployment claims last week, up from the previous week. They're part of the 5.5 million now receiving state benefits.
You know, it's rough. It's hard.
Hundreds of people in need lined up in Miami for a free grocery store gift card.
I don't have nothing. I don't have a job. I don't have nothing. I have 5 kids. I have to maintain, and it's not fair.
Congress is negotiating the final details of a COVID relief bill that would extend federal unemployment benefits for 4 months at $300 per person per week. That's down from $600 earlier this year.
We're going to stay right here, until we're finished, even if that means working through the weekend, which is highly likely.
The roughly $900 billion package could also include a $600 to $700 check for most Americans, as well as money for rental assistance, food assistance, money for schools and vaccine distribution, and $300 billion in help for small businesses. The pressure is on lawmakers to agree to a government spending bill by tomorrow night, and leaders on both sides want to include the COVID relief package as part of that larger deal.
If we need to further extend the Friday funding deadline before final legislation can pass in both chambers, I hope we'll extend it for a very, very short window of time.
It looks like they're very, very close.
President-elect Joe Biden says he will publicly receive a coronavirus vaccine as soon as next week.
I want to make sure that we demonstrate to the American people that it is safe to take.
Vice President Mike Pence will also look to build Americans' confidence in the vaccine by publicly receiving it tomorrow. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, the White House.
Guam lawmakers passed several bills during session last night, including controversial Bill 368, which would give a private company the authority to do a job that should be done by the Department of Revenue and Taxation. The legislation was introduced by Speaker Tina Munoz-Barnes. It mandates DRT contract a private company to write the rules and regulations for the enforcement of the cigarette tax stamps law and would then give the same company enforcement authority. The Speaker introduced the bill as a result of a report issued by Guam OPA citing a $15 million loss in revenue because DRT failed to implement the law. Reverend Tax, however, had testified that the law was an unfunded mandate. During the public hearing on Bill 368 in late September, Reverend Tax testified in opposition to the measure. DRT Deputy Director Michelle Santos, as well as former DRT Director Arda Logan, told senators that they should instead provide the agency $300,000 so that it could hire employees to implement the law instead of paying a private company $4 million. DRT also told senators that the rules and regulations, which were conducted with guidance from the AG's office, should be completed in the coming weeks. During session earlier this week, Senator Sabina Perez, who had oversight over DRT, called the bill inorganic, while Senator Therese Chalahi questioned the motives behind the bill, saying it undercuts DRT. The vote on Bill 368 was 8 yes votes, 6 no votes, and 1 excused absence. Meanwhile, controversial Bill 219 was removed from the voting file and instead set aside by its author, Senator Joe San Agustin. The measure would authorize the island's educational institutions, namely DOE, UOG, GCC, and charter schools, to procure renewable energy through a purchase or leaseback. Bill 219 was opposed by the Consolidated Commission on Utilities, the Guam Power Authority, and the Public Utilities Commission. The three entities not only argued it would result in unintended consequences, such as an increase in your power bill, but also violates local and federal laws. Senators, meanwhile, passed several bills, such as Senator Regine Bisco-Lee's RISE Act, providing financial assistance to struggling families as a result of the pandemic, but excludes federal and local government employees. The override attempt of Senator Luis Muñoz's Bill 207 failed, while the governor's veto on Senator James Moylan's Bill 133 was successfully overridden. The law reduces the filing fees for the Articles of Incorporation for a limited liability company. All the bills that were passed during session last night will head to the governor for her review and action. Senators return to session at 10 o'clock in the morning. The Cannabis Control Board held a virtual meeting yesterday afternoon during the public comment period. Alupang Beach Club President Steve Kasperbauer says allowing cannabis use in Tumon would look eerily similar to what we see today.
First of all, I've been in the tour business now
almost 35 years. Started when Tumon was still kind of in its fledgling stages. There weren't any street lights down there, and I could get from Tamuning down there in 7 minutes or less. But anyway, moving forward, what I'd like to comment on the cannabis rules and regulations and certain restrictions is simply this. I think that we've heard a lot of expert opinions about how this would affect our island from a local point of view. But I'd like to, first of all, express our concerns is that perception is reality. And we've built this industry that supports so many 30,000 people off of the perception of offering a product that is very convenient, affordable, and safe in the minds and the perception of our mainly Japanese and South Korean customers, and some from Taiwan. With that being said, we need to look at it through their lens. And the lens of the Japanese and the South Koreans, through their perception as a nation, can be easily established by looking at their laws. So first of all, in Japan and South Korea, marijuana is not only illegal, but it's punishable by prison time up to 7 to 10 years for what we would call minor infractions. This perception by the law is also the reflection of the society. Now, we can't change that. And based on our past laws here on Guam, both economically for development and societally wise, most of our investment for our tourism industry has come from Japan and South Korea. Excuse me. With that being said, may or may not be known, for example, in Korea, if a citizen commits a crime outside of Korea, that would be a crime, a would-be crime in Korea, but does it outside Korea, they are not exempt. South Korean nationals are held up to the standards of their law wherever they are in the world. So, for example, there's an article that was out recently that South Koreans were smoking marijuana recreationally in Canada. They were punished. They went to jail. The same thing goes for Japan. So we won't be able to articulate in any way a reasonability for that. But I think that there could be a compromise here. And
As reported last week, the Guam Visitors Bureau held a lengthy discussion on the issue of the sale of marijuana in Tumon. According to GVB Deputy General Manager Jerry Perez, the agency conducted a sensitivity study which presents a negative impact of $578 million to the tourism industry. Perez says a provision under the law required a study to be conducted. However, the previously reported study was primarily done by the Cannabis Control Board Subcommittee. The CCB's assessment presented a positive economic impact to Guam of $11.5 million and estimating 31,500 incremental visitors, although, as Perez explained, it did not take into account the sensitivity of arrivals from key markets. The Cannabis Control Board will hold another meeting on Monday. 41-year-old Racy Rikino Ludwig was arrested in connection to a fatal crash that occurred back in February. Ludwig was arrested for vehicular homicide, imprudent driving, no driver's license, and no seatbelt offenses. It was on February 1st. GPD's Highway Patrol Division began investigating a fatal auto ran-off roadway crash along Route 6 in Santa Rita near the APRA mobile gas station. 39-year-old Karimi Lewis passed away. Ludwig, in the meantime, was booked and confined. From the Superior Court, a jury found Atriko Hewinen guilty of third-degree criminal sexual conduct as a second-degree felony and terrorizing. Hewinen faces up to 8 years for sexually assaulting an individual known to him and up to 5 years for terrorizing. Assistant Attorney General Christine Tenorio said the young victim got her much-deserved day in court and her voice was heard. Against pressure and odds, the victim showed courage and was able to share her story with the jurors. The court will sentence the defendant at a future hearing. And finally, Attorney General Levin Camacho marks Guam's first elected AG to serve on the National Association of Attorneys General Executive Committee. It has been almost 2 decades since an attorney general from a territory served on the executive committee. The NAAG's executive committee oversees the association's operations. AG Camacho is one of 3 presidential appointments to the 12-member committee. The NAAG was founded in 1907 to foster interstate cooperation on legal and law enforcement issues, conduct policy research and analysis, conduct training, and facilitate communication between chief legal officers and all levels of government. Members are the Attorneys General of the 50 states, the District of Columbia, American Samoa, Guam, the Northern Mariana Islands, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. And that is your news. We'll have more on the link right after the break.
Hey kids! With the best holiday of the year approaching, KUAM has arranged a way for you to make sure Santa knows what you want for Christmas. Santa and Mrs. Claus have set up a virtual mailbox at KUAM.com with help from your friends at Dial Rent to Own. This is a chance for you to write your very own letter to Santa. Have an adult download the letter form, fill it out with your Christmas wishes, and send it in to us at letterstosanta@KUAM.com. Santa will read every letter submitted, but you may be chosen to join our Christmas Zoom party where you get to talk to the big guy himself on December 19th. If you're chosen, you will receive a special emailed invitation for you to attend the virtual fun. Stay informed with the stations and platforms of KUAM for all the details, and make sure you are being nice and not too naughty from today until Santa comes to visit. Letters to Santa is brought to you by Dial Rent to Own and all the L's at KUAM.
Merry Christmas!
We're doing a good job, Guam. In the past couple of weeks, we've managed to keep the car score below 5. Together, we rose to the challenge when the governor asked us all to strive for 5.
In the past couple of weeks, we've not only brought the car score way down from being in the high 40s to below 5, we've shown the governor that we're capable of altering the course of this pandemic. We were on a path to uncertainty, but now because of all of our actions, we're doing better.
But better doesn't necessarily mean that we are out of the woods. We still need to watch our distance, wash our hands, and wear our masks. So please keep striving, Guam.
We got this!
Let's get merry during the most wonderful time of the year by making spirits bright. KUAM and its community partners, McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, and the Guam Museum want to highlight your decorations and lights by flooding the social media pages of KUAM with your videos and photos. Finish your holiday setup, snap a few shots or video of your delightful display, and send it to us through social media or email them to promotions@KUAM.com. Check out our posts every Friday or tune in to KUAM News Weekend Edition for a special montage of the submissions certain to be making spirits bright with every broadcast. Warmest holiday wishes from McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, the Guam Museum, and KUAM Communications. Breaking news! This just in, Santa has a combined $4,000 to give away for Guam's best outdoor holiday display. Submit your outdoor display for a chance to win cash prizes. All submissions will be posted on our Facebook page, and the top 10 most liked pictures or videos wins a special cash prize to make your season even brighter. Visit KUAM.com for more details. GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
You're watching The Link with Chris and Sabrina on TV 11. Stick around because we're next on CBS This Morning.
We got your 6.
At 6 a.m. with The Link on Breeze 93.9 FM. Bree and I connect you with all the latest news and information you need to know to start your day.
Then check back with Guam's news leader at 6 p.m. for the day's top headlines with KUAM News Primetime.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and everything else in between with KUAM Digital, we got your 6.
7 in the morning. It's The Link, be brought to you by Calvo Enterprises and IT&E. Your hosts, Sabrina Salas Matinani, Andy Wheeler in the Zoom room, Jason Salas, Joe Sir. And let's get to our next guest, our first guest of the morning on this Friday. Woo! Had to do that.
All right, joining us in the Zoom room, we've got Dr. Felix Cabrera. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning, Bree. Good morning, everyone.
Big day yesterday.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday. We made it to another Friday, right? So I understand you got vaccinated, huh? You joined the vaccination?
Yeah, I did.
How did it go?
I joined the vaccination.
That's
I love
right.
that. Yeah, really. It's a new community, right? That everyone wants to be part of. You know, it's the cool community. So.
So I understand.
Where the cool kids hang out.
I saw the picture. How cool was that?
Yeah, how cool was it that I had the honor of our governor actually giving me my inoculation, and I thought that was pretty cool. You know, when you think about the governors of all the states and territories throughout the country, you know, our governors are licensed registered nurse, and she was more than qualified to give the vaccine, and she did it well. I barely felt a thing, and you know, she whispered in my ear, or whispered loudly, you know, I haven't given a shot in 40 years. But I had every faith in her and the reason why is because I watched what she was doing. She was observing all the nurses and really retraining and making sure that she had her competencies checked over and went through the whole process. And in the end, it's a fairly simple process, honestly. But really where the professional part comes into play is mostly observing after. And there was a team of us that were able to do that. So she was in good hands. She did everything perfectly. But, you know, really I was the practice because the real patient she wanted to inoculate was Dr. Mike Cruz. And so he was right after me. And so when I gave him the okay, that's when it was his turn.
Mm-hmm. So you got the vaccine. It obviously you look like you're doing all right. No side effects or anything?
Yeah, I haven't grown a tail. My DNA still seems to be very intact. Still have 5 fingers, 10 fingers. So we're still doing good so far.
So what about you got inoculated over at GRMC?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So can you kind of give us a rundown of what happened at GRMC? Because we know that vaccines were given to GMH, and according to Lillian Posadas, Dr. Jolene again was the first person to get the vaccine there. If you could tell us how many vaccines, I guess, were given over at GRMC.
Yeah, so, you know, of course, as we know that both GMH and GRMC, as well as Okudu High School and Northern Region Community Health Center are the main vaccination sites for this phase 1A group, which is primarily the healthcare workers and first responders and frontline workers. And so basically right now, there's more than enough vaccine for everyone in this industry who wants to have a vaccine can get a vaccine within short order. And what I mean by that is within the next week or two to at least get the first dose. So there's no issues with the numbers overall. And so we at GRMC actually the vaccination timeline was actually, we were starting it at 3 p.m. because we wanted to go into 9 p.m. And that's so we can capture 2 shifts and make it available and easier. And so, yeah, we could have started earlier like everybody else had, but it made more sense for our employees there to be able to have better access. And then there'll be the same thing today, for example. But I believe the initial order was for like 170 doses for yesterday and today, for example. And then there'll be more for the following week.
Mm-hmm. If we can now.
Doctor, I had a question. We've seen that there's the other vaccine that's rolling out. We have the Pfizer one now. We have the Moderna, whatever, that's coming. And when we do get around to the general public being able to get their vaccinations, is there a particular reason that someone should choose one of the vaccines over the other? Are the ingredients similar or what?
Yeah, you know, you rarely get this, but in this situation, they're so close to each other because the actual mechanism of how it works and the way it was manufactured are almost identical. The only thing that wasn't completely identical is how they performed their trials, and even then it was very, very similar. So we got actually very similar results in terms of efficacy and we have very, very similar results in terms of the potential side effect profile there, which is very minimal. And so because of that, there really isn't, any recommendation for one over the other. The one big difference we do know is that with the Pfizer one, it requires the ultra low cold storage, and then the Moderna one does not. But here's a caveat to that. The only reason why right now, at least, that the Pfizer one requires the ultra cold is because that's what that was part of their testing process. They're gonna do continued testing process because maybe in the future it won't even need that. If they can prove that it's stable enough that it can be just like the Moderna, because theoretically it should be just like the Moderna one that doesn't need the ultra low. So that only makes it even easier to distribute.
Mm-hmm. Everybody has so many questions about this vaccine. A lot of people are still kind of leery, kind of concerned. And so that's why I wanted to bring you on. I know we kind of went through this a couple weeks ago when you were last on, but there's so many different people that have, like I said, so many questions. And so I wanted to start with, what do you need to know before you get this vaccine?
Sure, and thank you, Bree. Then I don't think we can talk about this enough in all honesty, because there's a lot of misinformation that's out there. There's a lot of very, very good information out there, and we want to make sure that people have the right information to make the best informed decision for themselves, and that's important. But what's even more important is to understand that your decision affects everybody else as well, because yes, the risk is not zero in taking the vaccine, but the benefits are tremendous. And it's not just for you, but it's protecting your family, it's protecting our community. And there's rarely a vaccine that comes along that where you can say, I took that vaccine to save lives, to save other people's lives that I don't even know their names. And we have this opportunity now to do that. And so we can wear these pins and be very proud that we're part of this group and enter this vaccination. And so, to go with to answer your question there, what do you need to know? Now, there are some legitimate reasons why some people should not get this vaccine, at least not yet. And it's not because like, oh my gosh, pregnant women, if you get it, you're gonna, something bad's gonna happen. It's just that they haven't done enough studies yet in women who are pregnant. Typically vaccines like this, like we give all pregnant women the flu vaccine. And in fact, we really, really recommend it because the risk of getting the flu while pregnant is extremely much worse than the potential risk of getting the flu vaccine. So that's how we always have to look at it. So basically, what do you need to know? Are you pregnant or planning to be pregnant? Are you breastfeeding or planning to breastfeed? So those two, right now it's if you're it's for 16 years and older. And again, it's just because there hasn't been enough studies in the younger. And so, so those are the basic parts there. And then, it'll be pretty obvious when your group comes next. And when I mean your group is if you're in a particular industry or if you're in a particular risk group category, and sometimes that just means your age. And so, that time, your time will come, and we feel strongly that, definitely in the next about 3 to 4 months, anyone who wants a vaccine will have the opportunity to get one within this time frame.
Mm-hmm. Side effects.
Yeah. So side effects. So I'll admit one that I'm having right now. I'm a little sore. And just about every single vaccine I've gotten a little sore there, especially even the day after. And it just feels like somebody, gave me a buddy punch right there. Mm-hmm. But it's nothing that can't, prevent me from doing my work. And I expect it to be probably gone by tomorrow. What we know is that in terms of the side effects that are seen, it's not so much what you get on the first dose. It's more of what happens on the second dose. And that's because you have to remember that these side effects are actually sometimes very, very good. You actually want some of this because it means your body's actually responding. It's actually going to work. And it's like studying, really hard for a test and feeling tired from that, or working out at the gym really hard and then being tired from that. Mm-hmm. That's what your body's feeling. So fevers can sometimes be very good, especially if it's with a vaccine. And there's some arguments that maybe not even if you could hold off, if you can deal with the fever, don't take Tylenol, don't take a antipyretic, or ibuprofen, something like that, ride it out if you can, because that's your body really actually doing the work that's necessary. But if it becomes up to a point where you can't do things that you need to do at work or around the house or what have you, then maybe you can take those medications to make you feel a little bit better and to ride the wave. But what we know is that, especially with the Pfizer vaccine, this first one, is that after the second dose, about 4% of people who get this vaccine have fatigue, and in some cases classified as severe fatigue, and that's usually the following day. So maybe plan on not going to work that next day, okay, and having that second day off. That's just your body needing a chance to study up and work out and do what's necessary. 2% get a headache after that second dose, and again with rest and proper hydration, that's probably gonna be resolved fairly easily. And then after that, it comes down to the soreness in the arm, and then some body aches, and those are even like much less than a percent. So really, what I'm telling you is that these are side effects that we can ride out very in 1 to 2 days. That's not gonna cause you to it's not lifelong side effects. It's not something that we should be really afraid of. And what we do know is these vaccines, these side effect profiles are very, very similar, and even better in some cases than a lot of viral vaccines that we already are taking. Influenza vaccine, polio, measles, shingles vaccines, for example, HPV. So it's not that much different than those. And so we can take comfort in that, and that it's been studied in a rigorous way to identify that.
Andy, anytime you want to jump in, feel free.
I saw a video, a Canadian allergist. She was talking about, the common misconceptions and all that. And she kind of went through the ingredients of the vaccine. And she was saying that, don't worry too much about allergies to these, because if you have that allergy, your doctor is well aware of it. I believe it was polyethylene glycol or something like that.
Yeah, and polyethylene glycol is in a lot of things overall. But what we worry about is, at least right now, at least early, is that people who have a history of anaphylactic shock, like if they get a bee sting and then they almost die and they need that EpiPen to stab into, like those people are already very susceptible to any foreign item that goes into them and causes that reaction. So because of that, they're saying, hey, if this is the case, if you're going to get it, make sure you're in a clinical setting so that there can be a rapid response, and because these things can be overcome, and you'll still get immunity from it. But again, it's risk versus benefit. Whereas, if that's too much of a risk, maybe those are people who shouldn't be getting this at this point. But if you think that, I have seasonal allergies, I shouldn't get it, that's not a good reason. That's not the same thing. And so we have to have good understanding about that. And yeah, you're right. If you think you're not a candidate for this, you should consult your doctor, and you and your doctor should make that decision. Please don't make that decision by yourself.
So ideally, everyone should ask their doctor if they should take it and not get their article from Facebook to determine it.
Yeah, especially if you're seriously thinking that you have a legitimate health reason why you should not take it, then I think it's a really good idea to consult your doctor. If you decide to get it because you feel comfortable and you know that the benefits really outweigh the potential risk for yourself, that's really about more about 99% of the population, and you have to remember that. Then really you should move forward in this manner, in that, and understand that that's safe. I myself, I have comorbidities. I have a newborn at home. I want to protect my patients. I want to protect my family. I have a lot of very good reasons, and I think a good reason also is that I want to set an example. If you're trying to lead, you need to step in front and actually go first and lead in some of these cases. And I think that was an important part, and that's why we took this step as well, because we felt it important. And we believe in this vaccine because science matters. And I very much believe in the science that went into making this vaccine. And there are a lot of skeptics out there, and they're skeptical because of buzzwords. Okay, they hear that buzzwords about luciferase or you're gonna get 5G in your body or something like that. Sorry, Jason, my 5G phone hasn't kicked off yet with this vaccine. I know you're hoping for that, and so but we really have to press the reset button and re-examine our hesitancy in getting in this and make sure it's based on data. And it's really, really important to understand that. Just two quick reasons why this vaccine came by so fast. It's not because of politics. It's not because of pressure. It's because of two main things. Is that this new version, the mRNA, which is not that new, it's been studied for over a decade. It's just that it now has the opportunity to actually put in play. That process to manufacture that is actually so much easier than a traditional vaccine. It's way faster, just inherently by itself. And then the second part is because COVID is so infectious, that phase 3 trial that usually takes years sometimes, which like for HPV or HIV, you have to take years to see if people get those diseases naturally. You find out in months whether or not they catch COVID because it was so rampant. And so that also made the vaccine much faster to come online, and so that we can understand its efficacy. So we have to understand that part there, and that think about this. This is probably the most scrutinized and analyzed vaccine ever in human history, that's been done in a public setting and have so many scientists looking at it. And so I think we should really take some comfort in understanding that part and knowing that there's been so many people that have our back, that are doing this for the right reasons and for the safe reasons, with safety first in mind.
So if you can get it when your time comes up. And I'm still waiting to hear from my nephrologist if I'm able to take it. So there are a lot of people out there that just cannot take it for whatever reason. And so how important is it for us that people that are able to get vaccinated?
I think it's, what's really important is that in these trials, so let's first understand how big these trials were. Just the Pfizer one by itself, they included about 44,000 people in the trial. And this included people from across the United States, Argentina, Brazil, and South America. That's a pretty good spread. And in fact, it even included about 0.2% of native Pacific Islanders. And so that's, a decent representation as well in there. And so when you think about how big that is, there's also a well representation of different comorbidities as well. People with diabetes, with kidney problems, with liver problems, cancer, immune issues. So it was a pretty good representation there. And there is nothing that they have found that makes you say that if you have this chronic condition, you can't take this vaccine. And we're talking about the common ones. And just Andy, by you just mentioned that you have a nephrologist, I assume that there's a kidney issue that is being addressed. And so right now, in fact, even more so, you should get it, and because it's going to protect you from any complications. And so you're probably going to be higher on the list because of that, because we want to protect you, and we know that you'll in turn help protect the rest of the community.
Good to hear, Doc. I'm actually happy you said that. Thanks. Feel better about it now.
Yeah.
He just saved you a doctor's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask Doc, say for example, I took a flu vaccine within the past 2-3 weeks, or any other vaccine. Would you recommend that I still take this Pfizer vaccine, or would that preclude me from?
Yeah. Yes, definitely. And the reason why is because there is no contraindication or worry about them, fighting against resources or sorts, because they're going to work in their own process, and they're going to do their own things in a different parallel system. The influenza vaccine is very, very different than the corona vaccine in terms of the antigens and things that make the immune system respond. And so they're working in different departments, so you'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was possible. So if I take the vaccine and between the 3 weeks, can I still get COVID?
Yes. So let's be very clear. You can still get COVID. And the the thing is that even after the first vaccine, your risk of getting COVID actually drops, a fair amount. In fact, now we're thinking even 50%. By the time you get your second vaccine, a week after that, the risk of getting COVID is now dropped down to about 5%. But that is still not 0%, which is why it is very, very important that we still do our 4 Ws. Wear your mask, wash your hands, watch your distance, and have the willpower to do this 100% of the time, even though you've been vaccinated. And so because there's still that chance, that 5% chance that you may get COVID, or that even if you may not know it, but you still also may be a vector, you still may be able to transmit it. And maybe if you didn't get the vaccine, you would have had really bad symptoms. You may have ended up in the hospital. But now that you have the vaccine, might be tiny bit of symptoms. Maybe now you're one of those that are asymptomatic. But guess what? Now you're even more dangerous because you can potentially, I wouldn't say more dangerous, but not, you could still potentially transmit the virus without knowing it. So even more reason to be vigilant and to not let our guard down.
What if you have had COVID? Do you recommend that they get vaccinated? Or should
so
they?
it's there's been good opinions about this, and right now it seems like a lot of the experts are saying is that one is that if you have COVID within 90 days, within about 3 months or so, that you've likely developed some immunity to it. Now we don't know how much immunity and how long lasting that is, but what they're saying is that because right now we're trying to vaccinate as many people who haven't gotten COVID yet. If you could take a step back in the line, please go ahead and do so, and give other people a chance to go first. And so that's what they're really saying, but it's not a contraindication. And especially the longer out, the closer you are to that 90 days, the more likely you probably want to take it sooner than later. But if you just had it 2 weeks ago, then really wait. There is no reason that you should rush to get it. But let's be clear also is that the process is so pure in a way of the vaccine that it focuses on one major part of the coronavirus, and your body trains to really recognize that. It's like a fingerprint scanner as opposed to somebody just trying to recognize somebody in the shadow. And when you get the coronavirus and COVID from the wild, so to speak, and you try and mount an immune response to that, you're doing it on all the different parts of the coronavirus, and you're trying to learn all these different systems. But the vaccine makes you really concentrate on that one part, and that whenever you see that part, which is the spike part of the coronavirus, it really goes to town on it, and so it becomes really more effective. And then with that booster shot that you get, the second shot, you become even better at it. And so we don't know if that's going to last, how long that lasts. So far, we're seeing it lasting for more than 4 months because they're still following these people in the trials, in the phase 3 trials. And at worst, that's going to happen is that we're going to need a booster shot every year, at the worst. But maybe nothing at all. Maybe it's just these 2, and then that's it. So we'll see. But that's actually that's why they're still really recommending the vaccine even for those who have gotten COVID at some point. And so but that that will play out more as we see over the next few months.
We do have another question from one of our viewers. What is the difference between the first shot and the second shot?
So specifically for the Pfizer and the Moderna, there's absolutely no difference. It's the exact same vaccine, and it's with the exact same dose. Now, the third one that's going to likely be coming online is the AstraZeneca, the one that's associated with Oxford University. That one, and the only difference in that is that the first dose is half a dose, and then the second dose is the full dose. And that's just a different, a little bit of a different process. But in the end, they're both, either way, is just as similar efficacy. And so that's really it. You're just getting the same thing.
Mm-hmm. No, I meant I just in case this is what she meant, the first shot of the Pfizer and the second shot of the Pfizer vaccine. Is there any difference or no?
Yeah, there is no difference.
Okay.
It's the same vial. You can take it out of the same lot, and so there is no difference in the type. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so it's not like
hyperdose.
not like a bigger needle or anything like that.
No, no bigger needle, nothing. Same site. You can give it the exact same site. Everything can be exactly the same.
All right, Andy.
Maybe the governor will give it to me at the second time also.
Was there anything else that you want to make sure people know about?
This is, I think, really important that we have to understand is that, we keep hearing that the light at the end of the tunnel, this light is really more like a speckle. It's a spark at the end. And at least now we know we're walking in the right direction. But make no mistake, we're still deep in the tunnel. Right now, the country has over 300,000 deaths related to COVID. The Institute of Health Metrics and Evaluation has predicted by the end of winter, there will be over 500 deaths in America related to COVID. If we do this rapid rollout of vaccines, you know what that number drops down to? About 480. So even with rapid rollout, we're still going to lose approximately 180,000 more lives in this country. That's with these vaccines being rolled out in 3 to 4 months. So think about that. Vaccines are a long-term prevention strategy. We're trying to eradicate coronavirus. This is that plan. The 4 W's is the right now prevention strategy. Okay, so wash your hands, watch your distance, and wear your mask, and have the willpower to do it 100%, even if you've been vaccinated.
I think that's an important message because we are heading into Christmas and the holidays, and I know from Thanksgiving, everybody was waiting to see, are we going to see a surge in cases, and so with Christmas just right around the corner, and then followed by New Year's, and the vaccine's not available to people in the community. I guess your message to the community about that.
And so the last thing I'll just say is that, experts say that we need about 70 to 80% of the community to have immunity to COVID before we can really have this pandemic truly under control. For Guam, that means about 125,000 people have to be vaccinated. So, that's still a massive operation that has to occur. And that's gonna, it's gonna take time for that to happen. And so I think we'll get there, and I think we'll do it beautifully. But it's going to take time and patience, and we just have to make sure that we don't lose lives in between that time, and we know how that works right now. And so let's all do that, and let's give each other that Christmas gift.
All right, thanks, Doc.
Thank you, everyone, for the time, and please stay safe, and appreciate everything that you guys do to help spread out the good word, and making sure that people really truly have a good understanding, because here, especially, knowledge is power, and the right knowledge is even more powerful.
Well, I'll probably be calling you again next week to continue to get information out. And
sure,
thank you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Happy to do it.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you again. Okay, bye.
Bye. Okay, so that was Dr. Felix Cabrera providing information about the Pfizer vaccine, on why you should take it, and some of the ingredients that are in there, some of the side effects. We'll be posting that interview on our
That's great info,
YouTube.
man. There's so much bad info I've seen out there, and not only that, but just a lot of concerns that people have. This vaccine rolling out, people just want to know what they're putting in their bodies. So having Dr. Cabrera and all the other health professionals we've had here on the show is pretty important. So good stuff.
We're going to also have Dr. Ho Win coming on a little bit later. So if you do have any additional questions, just go ahead and post it here on our Facebook live stream. But we're going to head back into our Zoom room where we have from the Department of Agriculture, Mr. Frank Roberto. Good morning, Frank. You need to unmute.
Good morning. Hafaday.
He's on our show because I did receive a phone call and some questions about fisheries grants from the CARES Act money. And so, Frank, thank you for coming on, and thanks, Chelsea, the director of Department of Agriculture, for getting us, Frank, to come on. And if you could, Frank, tell us what is the latest with this grant, because I understand there's some sort of an extension.
Okay, sure. Yeah, let me just give you the rundown of the whole program. So in June and July of this year, the Department of Agriculture, Division of Aquatic and Wildlife Resources, which will be referred to as DOAG and DAR, announced a call out of commercial and sustenance fishermen that were affected by COVID-19 restrictions to register as a fisherman under DAR for us to determine their eligibility for the CARES Act Fisheries Relief Fund. Since the August deadline for registration, we received 814 registered and eligible fishermen. The Department of Agriculture would like to remind these registered and eligible fishermen to submit their application packets in order to receive funds. So far, since the announcement to submit application packets in October 29, only 106 have submitted their packets as of the November 30th deadline. However, the deadline has been extended to January 29, 2021 for packets to be submitted. The packet contains an application, affidavit, and W-9 form. To clarify, the application form is different from the registration form that was submitted earlier this year. Fillable PDF application packets are available online at doag.guam.gov/resource, or eligible applicants may call 735-0289 to schedule an appointment to pick up an application packet, or email fisheries@doag.guam.gov to request a packet. And in terms of the application packet, all eligible applicants have already provided verified documentation to DAR to validate their revenue or subsistence claims. Application packets will include an application, a sworn affidavit, and a W-9. No applications will be accepted after the due date. DAR will notify applicants of deficient applications, and applications will be given 3 business days to address these deficiencies. For payment and distribution of funding, DOAG DAR will receive all applications, review them for accuracy and completeness by cross-referencing applications with data acquired during the DAR fisher registration, and forward to Pacific States Marine Fisheries Commission, PSMFC, for final approval and payment and disbursement. Payments will be processed by the PSMFC, and a check will be mailed directly to the applicant. Any funding received through the CARES Act is subject to federal and local tax requirements. PSMFC is responsible for issuing 1099 forms directly to the applicants and the Guam Department of Revenue and Taxation.
Okay.
So who is eligible for this? I'm wondering, if people are out there, hey, I need to get involved in this, who actually is eligible?
Okay, so the registration has already passed. So if you registered earlier this year, then you can apply for this program. But if you haven't registered earlier this year, then you're not eligible anymore, or you do not qualify. But it's any fisherman, any commercial fisherman, subsistence fisherman that did register, they will qualify for the program. They just have to sign the affidavit form.
Mm-hmm. How many did you say applications were received?
There were 814 registered fishermen. So of the 814, all of them can turn in an application packet. And so far, we've only received 106. So we're just urging those who registered to turn in their application packet so that they can be given their money.
How much money do they get?
I can give you an estimate. So the sustenance fishermen will be getting around $900, and then the commercial fishermen will be compensated for their losses.
So out of the 106, how many received payments?
None have received payment because the deadline on November 30th, we were trying to resolve some deficiencies with the applications. So we are sending out the batch today or tomorrow. And from PSMFC, they notified us that it'll take about 10 to 15 days for processing before disbursement.
So again, out of the 106, you said that you were going to batch payments out?
I'm sorry?
You said you were going to, out of the 106, I guess how many had deficiencies?
Just a handful of them, but it does take a while for them to respond back to us to resolve the issues, to get, if they were missing some information on any of their application forms.
Mm-hmm. And so for the ones that didn't have any deficiencies that are good to go, did you say that they would be getting their assistance in a couple of weeks? Is that what you said?
They will. The whole batch is being sent out now or tomorrow. So those who didn't have any deficiencies, then we didn't have to contact them. Those with deficiencies, we did have to contact them. So we just waited. We just resolved those before we sent out the whole batch that turned it in before the November 30th deadline.
And just for clarification, when you say batch, are you saying that you're uploading it to the bank? Is this all electronically?
Oh, just a more general sense of batch, as in just this group of applications.
Okay. And so the ones that didn't have any problems, when can they expect to see, I guess, a check?
10 to 15 days.
Okay, in about 2 weeks.
You guys have any derbies coming up? Anything planned?
Still determining that with our program coordinator, with COVID restrictions. So we're seeing what we can do. Yeah.
Okay.
Always fun events. I look forward to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
How much money is available for this Fisher's grant?
$999,000 or $998,000. So with that $998,000, we had to determine how to distribute the money. So that's the reason why we had the registration in the beginning of this year, so that we can get the numbers of fishermen and calculate how much we'll be giving each fisherman, depending on what category they fall under.
Okay. All right. Anything else other than fishermen? You need to, if you're registered, you need to call and take advantage of this program.
Yes, absolutely. We want to give everybody, their money as quickly as they can. So we just, as we receive the application forms, that's when we'll be processing them.
Wow, 106 out of 814. Wow, it's pretty low.
Yes. Yeah, so we've been trying to find ways to, distribute the information, try to get, let everybody know that the registered fishermen do need to turn in their application form so they can get their money.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Frank. What's the phone number?
You can call 735-0294, or they can call my direct line at 735-0288 if you have any questions.
All right. Thanks, Frank. Merry Christmas.
All right. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
All right. That was Frank Roberto from the Department of Agriculture talking about the $998,000.
They couldn't have just rounded up to $1 million?
$1 million. There you go. And out of
1.0.
Well, 814 registered fishermen and only 106 have actually applied. Come on, guys.
Well, it's one of those things that, maybe you are eligible, but you think, for some reason you think, I'm not going to, and it's like entering a big raffle. It's like, I'm not going to win, never mind. So I think sometimes, like Frank said, just getting the info out there to people that they are eligible, that, hey, if you're a fisherman, if you live off of fishing commercially or subsistence, take advantage of this. So, that's why we got to be here to help get the word out that, hey, when something like this comes around, even if you think that, hey, there's a remote chance I might be eligible, apply for it. You never know.
Yeah. Hey, guys, I got an update on the earthquake that everybody seems to have believed did, in fact, exist this morning. Certainly many
because it
people
happened,
felt it.
Jason. We don't believe it happened. It happened, okay? You missed it. It's okay.
I know.
Oh, come on. So everybody else on the internet can be a conspiracy theorist except me, right? Well, our friend Landon Aidlet at the NWS, no official word yet as far as we know from the U.S. Geological Survey, but he's saying, he's got, millions of dollars of computer equipment and monitoring gear over at his office in Tejan, and he goes, many realize our quake did not register locally. He's sending me this on WhatsApp. But he goes, our displays indicate that the Richter scale effect was around magnitude 4.0 or later. So he goes, it happened, obviously it happened far, far away from us, but still to that fact, given the fact that it was a 4.0, we felt a trace amount of it. So still waiting for the official word, but yeah, so that was going on with that.
Well, thank you, Jason, for the update on an earthquake that we all felt except you.
We were all very, very worried.
Well, still to come, we have got Dr. Hobo Wynn coming on the show. Again, if you have any questions about the COVID Pfizer vaccine, post them now on our stream. But we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with more on the link in a moment.
Catch the holiday soundtrack starting December 1st through January 5th. You'll be treated to an all-day festive playlist only on Breeze 93.9 FM. Also streaming on KUAM.com and the KUAM mobile app. Let's spread joy and holiday cheer this season. Holiday soundtrack brought to you by Domino's. Visit domino's.gu for faster, easier online ordering.
We're doing a good job, Guam. In the past couple of weeks, we've managed to keep the CAR score below 5. Together, we rose to the challenge when the governor asked us all to strive for 5.
In the past couple of weeks, we've not only brought the CAR score way down from being in the high 40s to below 5, we've shown the governor that we're capable of altering the course of this pandemic. We were on a path to uncertainty, but now because of all of our actions, we're doing better.
But better doesn't necessarily mean that we are out of the woods. We still need to watch our distance, wash our hands, and wear our masks. So please keep striving, Guam.
We got this.
Hey kids! With the best holiday of the year approaching, KUAM has arranged a way for you to make sure Santa knows what you want for Christmas. Santa and Mrs. Claus have set up a virtual mailbox at KUAM.com with help from your friends at Dial Rent to Own. This is a chance for you to write your very own letter to Santa. Have an adult download the letter form, fill it out with your Christmas wishes, and send it in to us at letterstosanta@KUAM.com. Santa will read every letter submitted, but you may be chosen to join our Christmas Zoom party where you get to talk to the big guy himself on December 19th. If you're chosen, you will receive a special emailed invitation for you to attend the virtual fun. Stay informed with the stations and platforms of KUAM for all the details and make sure you are being nice and not too naughty from today until Santa comes to visit. Letters to Santa is brought to you by Dial Rent to Own and all the L's at KUAM.
Merry Christmas!
You're watching The Link with Chris and Sabrina on TV 11, but don't leave yet because we're coming up next on CBS This Morning.
All right, half a day, and welcome back to The Link, everybody. 20 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. 7:20 here in the 671, and we are so happy to have you along for the ride. We got a special segment that we wanted to present to you now because you saw yesterday live right here on The Link. Our Adriana Cotera was out at Ukadu High School over in Dedido, a historic moment in Guam history as the first 3 Guamanians received the Pfizer vaccine for coronavirus. Very, very emotional, obviously very important as to the future health and safety of our island community. One of those people was public health pediatrician Dr. Robert Camacho. Everybody knows him as Dr. Bob, a really, really good guy, and he actually took some time after we had the Zoom call to talk to Adriana about how he felt, what the process was like, and what he wants to say to the people of Guam about getting vaccinated. So here's that segment.
We try to do it at least 15 to 30 minutes, depending on your history. So they want to make sure that the things that happen in Alaska and Great Britain, if that occurs, we can monitor you and treat you appropriately.
And what would be some of those initial side effects?
What they're worried about is if you have any allergic reactions to the vaccine. That's the immediate one that's the more concerning. The other side effects is not going to happen until maybe an hour or so later.
And so the waiting game in there, how was it for the 3 of you?
Waiting game? I was scared. I mean, I won't lie to you. I know it was good. I wanted to do it. It's just I was scared.
Did you feel anything?
You know, actually, I was so engrossed in everything around me that I didn't know it was done. And she did it until after she said, "Okay." So I really, to be honest, I didn't feel it.
And right now?
I still don't feel anything yet, and I hope I never feel anything, but yeah.
Now, I'm sure they told you to closely monitor yourself, and then they'll be monitoring you as well, right, public health?
Yes, I mean, with the first 20 to 30 minutes here, physically they monitor, and then after that, and that's what the card's for, they'll if you have any issues, make sure you call and then seek your physician and stuff.
So you still encourage others to get the vaccine?
Oh, I do. I really do. I mean, I was scared. I'm my age. I have health issues, and like I said in there to other people that I interviewed, I said, I want to go back to where it was before. And without this vaccine, it's not going to happen. Without this vaccine, you're not going to be able to hug other people outside your house. You're not. I would like to take my wife to her birthday, out for a dinner, but we're not doing it this year because of the pandemic. Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year's celebrations with the family, not going to be doing that. Traveling, not going to be doing that. And I have a couple kids in the States, so I probably won't see them for a while until at least I get the second dose. Then I feel a little bit more secure. But the biggest thing, and I've taken care of kids don't usually get COVID-19 that badly, but I did take care of a young man that's the whole family got sick, and he was actually in the hospital at the same time as his mother and his father. But they weren't able to see his father as he passed away because, that's the thing with the COVID-19. You cannot be with your loved ones when they're very ill.
What was it like to have a first-hand look at that?
Which one? The
Father,
COVID?
yes.
Well, I didn't take care of the father.
Oh.
I took care of the son. So I didn't see that, but, I saw him for follow-up, and, I'd always ask if there's a death and how they're doing. And you could tell that it impacted them. And, I said goodbye to my dad. I said goodbye to my mom when they were passing away. I just can't fathom not being able to have my kids around me, my wife around me, supporting me.
Seems like you're kind of emotional.
I'm such a panty. Yes.
What did you do before you left home this morning?
Okay.
Pray.
I started praying since last night when they told me I was going to get it. I'd be the first one. I started praying since then. Mm-hmm. And my sleep was kind of restless, but I think I'll be able to sleep better tonight.
How do you plan on monitoring yourself to make sure that you're coming back in 21 days?
Oh, I'm the immunization advisor, so I'm around these guys during the daytime, Monday to Fridays, because that's my job. So that's not a problem for me.
But are you worried about other people being able to come back for that second dose?
Yes. With the first dose, and I think more as we get more people immunized, there will be more understanding of what the exact percentage is. But from what I read, with the first dose, about 50%, and then with the second dose, it jumps up above 90%. And that's beautiful because the only one vaccine I know that does more than 90% is the measles, mumps, rubella shot. Everything else is less than that. And they were just hoping for a 50%. With the first dose, it's 50, so it's not great, but with the second dose, it goes up to 90, which is better.
And something you previously had mentioned to me right after you had your vaccine was that people can still be infected with COVID-19 in between doses, correct?
Well, they can be infected even after the second dose. Remember what I said, with the first dose, it's about 50%, and with the second dose, it's about 90%, which means that 10% of people will not respond at all to the vaccine. But if you get everybody vaccinated, it's harder to spread the disease when most people can't get it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else you'd like to add?
Get the vaccine. If you want to hug your family, if you want to be at your loved one's bedside when they pass, get the vaccine.
And that was Dr. Bob Leon Guerrero. He was one of the first individuals to receive the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccination over at Ukadu High School yesterday. And the vaccination clinic up there, it continues today and tomorrow. So as you heard from Dr. Felix Cabrera earlier, this is for all healthcare professionals and frontliners such as GPD, the Guam Fire Department. And so that's going on today as well as on Saturday. And so we did prepare some PSAs for everybody. Will you join the vaccination, right? So know the facts. The vaccine, it will not give you COVID-19. It will not cause you to test positive on COVID-19 viral tests. People who have gotten sick with COVID-19 may still benefit from getting vaccinated. Getting vaccinated can help prevent getting sick with COVID-19. Receiving an mRNA vaccine will not alter your DNA. And this is information that was provided on the CDC website. Again, will you join the vaccination? Know the facts. COVID-19 vaccine helps our bodies develop immunity to the virus that causes COVID-19 without us having to get the illness. Different types of vaccines work in different ways to offer protection, but with all types of vaccines, the body is left with a supply of memory, T lymphocytes, as well as B lymphocytes that will remember how to fight the virus in the future. It typically takes a few weeks for the body to produce T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes after vaccination. Therefore, it is possible that a person could be infected with the virus that causes COVID-19 just before or just after the vaccination and then get sick because the vaccine did not have enough time to provide protection. Sometimes after vaccination, the process of building immunity can cause symptoms such as fever. These symptoms are normal and are a sign that the body is building immunity. Who should get the Pfizer vaccine? The FDA has authorized emergency use in individuals 16 years of age and older. Who should not get the Pfizer vaccine? If you have a severe allergic reaction after a previous dose of this vaccine, had a severe allergic reaction to any ingredient in the vaccine. And now these are some of the possible side effects: injection site pain, tiredness, headache, muscle pain, chills, joint pain, fever, injection site swelling, injection site redness, nausea, feeling unwell, or swollen lymph nodes. Again, this is information from the FDA as well as the CDC website. Will you join the vaccination? It's completely up to you. The vaccine is not mandatory. It is on a volunteer basis. And again, the clinics continue over at the Ukudu High School. And we'll have more on today's clinic on primetime tonight as well. For any of these graphics, you can find them now on our social media pages. Vic?
All right, thank you, Bree. 7:29 in the morning. Let's get into our next segment, and we give our local artists a chance here on the show to kind of shine and come back. We had Live Local Fridays years ago, and this is one of those segments that we kind of give back to our local artists and our musicians here on Island. So it's time for Cover Me, being brought to you by Burger King, and our artist for today is none other than Nicole Leon Guerrero with another awesome cover right here on The Lake.
Half a day, everyone. This is Nicole Leon Guerrero wishing you all the happiest of holidays. This is one of my favorite Christmas songs. I hope you enjoy it too. Christmas time is here, happiness and cheer, fun for all that children call their favorite time of year. Snowflakes in the air, carols everywhere, olden times and ancient rhymes of love and dreams to share. Sleigh bells in the air, beauty everywhere. You'll sit by the fireside and joyful memories there. Christmas time is here. We'll be drawing near. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the year. Sleigh bells in the air, beauty everywhere. You'll sit by the fireside and joyful memories there. Christmas time is here. We'll be drawing near. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the year. Such spirit through the year. Merry Christmas, everyone.
We're doing a good job, Guam. In the past couple of weeks, we've managed to keep the CAR score below 5. Together, we rose to the challenge when the governor asked us all to strive for 5.
In the past couple of weeks, we've not only brought the CAR score way down from being in the high 40s to below 5, we've shown the governor that we're capable of altering the course of this pandemic. We were on a path to uncertainty, but now because of all of our actions, we're doing better.
But better doesn't necessarily mean that we are out of the woods. We still need to watch our distance, wash our hands, and wear our masks. So please keep striving, Guam.
We got this.
Hey kids! With the best holiday of the year approaching, KUAM has arranged a way for you to make sure Santa knows what you want for Christmas. Santa and Mrs. Claus have set up a virtual mailbox at KUAM.com with help from your friends at Dial Rent to Own. This is a chance for you to write your very own letter to Santa. Have an adult download the letter form, fill it out with your Christmas wishes, and send it in to us at letterstosanta@KUAM.com. Santa will read every letter submitted, but you may be chosen to join our Christmas Zoom party where you get to talk to the big guy himself on December 19th. If you're chosen, you will receive a special emailed invitation for you to attend the virtual fun. Stay informed with the stations and platforms of KUAM for all the details and make sure you are being nice and not too naughty from today until Santa comes to visit. Letters to Santa is brought to you by Dial Rent to Own and all the L's at KUAM.
Merry Christmas!
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
You're watching The Link with Chris and Sabrina on TV 11, but don't leave yet because we're coming up next on CBS This Morning.
The Link, we are back. Sabrina Salas, Matt Tinani, Andy Wheeler in the Zoom room, Jason Salas and Joe Sir. Here we go.
Good morning, everybody. In the Zoom we've got Dr. Hoa Nguyen with the Governor's Physicians Advisory Group. Good morning, Dr. Hoa.
All right, good morning, guys. Beautiful Friday. Okay.
Beautiful Friday. So, of course, gotta ask, did you get vaccinated?
I did. I got vaccinated yesterday, about 10. And it's really nice. I got vaccinated at Okudu High School, and the setup that public health have is very nice and very fast. It takes about less than an hour to go through the line, so it's very nice.
Mm-hmm. Is that are most of your, I guess, staff and colleagues over there getting the vaccine or have gotten the vaccine already?
Yes, half of my physician already have the vaccine, and the rest of the staff plan to go over there on Saturday because Thursday and Friday we have a lot of patient care, so it doesn't interrupt the patient care in the clinic. Mm-hmm. But the staff will all be there on Saturday, and I think the major clinic like FHP, SDA are doing the same. So we just take turn to go over there and get vaccinated. Again, it's a very crucial for us to get immunized, especially our community. And I think that as soon as we have more available, that they will roll out to the public. I don't feel anything since yesterday. My arm feels just like I got the flu shot. But no fever, no headache, and nothing. So it's great. And they scheduled you an appointment, a card to return in about 3 weeks or so. So for us, it's like January 7th to get the second booster dose to make sure that we fully immunized. So yeah, it's a very well organized stuff. So I really highly recommend it for the public when the turn come that they make the effort to go out and get the immunization.
Mm-hmm. Do you know how it works after you get the shot? How does public health keep track of everybody and also whether or not they experience symptoms? Does it go into some sort of a database or?
Well, after the immunization, depend on if you have reported allergy, so certain medication that pass or not, they keep you anywhere from 15 minutes to half an hour in the gym where OKDU is, and they just observe, make sure you don't have any side effect. You are given a card to let you know what date is your second booster shot, and then if you have any side effect, anything like that, a headache, a fever, or any problem, they encourage you to report that to a physician, and then at the local level where physician, we just report that side effect to public health, and it go into a database to the federal.
Oh, okay, so
have there been any occurrences of side effects out of the norm? We've heard from everyone that they feel fine. You have the site where it was administered. Okay, you had a needle in your arm. That's a little sore, but anything out of the ordinary so far?
No, so far, I don't. The only thing I can speak is for my staff, my physician, and my nursing staff. And so far, no one say anything. I just feel the same. So, I'm sure that someone will have more headache and a little low-grade fever, just like when you get the flu shot. Again, it's very mild. It's supposed to be within 24 to 48 hours, and then after that, you're supposed to be fine.
I wanted to
So
ask.
that's kind of what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to kind of kickstart your immune system, correct?
Yeah, basically, the immunization they'll give you yesterday, supposed to, again, kickstart your immune system to make antibodies. And if it worked really, really, really well, then yes, you might feel something just because your immune system is overdrive, So again, you want that little side effect, I think, just because that it's working. If it's not working, you'll feel anything. So again, it's 95% or so efficacy. So that's when that it really kicks you.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the people that have a high comorbidity. That's going to go down next is the St. Dominic and the people with high comorbidity. I truly, truly ask them, please get the immunization, just because I know the benefit is really, really outweigh the risk.
Right. Have you heard? You said St. Dominic's. Did they take a poll over there to find out whether or not a majority of the Manamco up there were willing to take the vaccine?
Yeah. Guys, this vaccine again is not mandatory. It's all voluntary. So I think if anyone have concern, the physician or the nursing staff can talk to them. Again, just like anything else, physician, the nursing staff would put everything on the table, the benefit, the risk, and it's the patient that make the final decision. So I think that we try not to be so biased, on any type of immunization. It's not this one. There's a few people out there that does not believe in immunization, and that's their right, But again, I told someone yesterday that the reason I get it because it protect me, protect my patient that I encounter every day, and protect the family and protect my friends. So that's why I decide, hey, I'm going to get the immunization as soon as I can. So it's basically it's what you do. Truly, is your responsibility for people around you.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Bob, He was one of the first yesterday, and in the interview, he was saying he was scared. You know, he was really nervous. Were you?
No. To me, you know, I mean, we've been waiting for this immunization now for so long already, and I'm excited to get it. So I'm not quite sure.
Oh, there's an issue. What's wrong?
Immunization. I just don't like needle. So, but no, it's really I got through the first one. I'm looking for a second.
Doc, that we're having some audio issues. We're gonna try and correct those audio problems. Not sure what's going on.
He muted himself, I guess.
No. Well, it says it's muted. There you go, Doc. Are you there? We still can't hear him. We're gonna go to a quick break, Doc, and then we're gonna come back on. Okay?
Some gifts. GU Self Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information. Let's get merry during the most wonderful time of the year by making spirits bright. KUAM and its community partners, McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, and the Guam Museum want to highlight your decorations and lights by flooding the social media pages of KUAM with your videos and photos. Finish your holiday setup, snap a few shots or video of your delightful display, and send it to us through social media or email them to promotions@KUAM.com. Check out our posts every Friday or tune in to KUAM News Weekend Edition for a special montage of the submissions certain to be making spirits bright with every broadcast. Warmest holiday wishes from McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, the Guam Museum, and KUAM Communications. Breaking news! This just in, Santa has a combined $4,000 to give away for Guam's best outdoor holiday display. Submit your outdoor display for a chance to win cash prizes. All submissions will be posted on our Facebook page, and the top 10 most liked pictures or videos wins a special cash prize to make your season even brighter. Visit KUAM.com for more details.
You're watching The Link with Chris and Sabrina on TV 11. Stick around because we're next on CBS This Morning.
About how he was so scared to get vaccinated yesterday.
Yeah, no, it's not scared to get vaccinated. I'm just scared about the needle, I'm excited to go there, but, I don't want to go. So it's, I get a little bit scared about the needle, but it's okay. But afterward, I really feel good afterward. It's no problem. I went back and see my patient the whole day, and so it's not bad at all.
Well, you did get up and go running, so I guess you are doing all right.
I'm like I said, I don't feel anything. So I took 1 gram Tylenol yesterday afterward, just to prep myself. But I'm surprised I don't feel nothing at all. But I tell you though, public health at Okudu is very, very, very nice setup. So thank you so much for doing that. And I think that they have the line down pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor, I wanted to ask you, we talked to Dr. Cabrera earlier and, talked about the vaccine being for 16 and older. And because the study hasn't been done on the younger kids, are they pursuing that so where they can eventually have a vaccine for children and teenagers, or are we just kind of hoping that they'll be fine?
No, I think as more data coming in from all the immunization and more study, I think eventually the children will be vaccinated also. again, we roll this thing out real quick just because we want the majority of the people that get immunized and protect themselves. But truly, I was talking to my team last night, and I don't know if it's wrong or right, but we know the highest percentage positive rate is between 20 to 40 years old. If you look at the curve in Guam and everywhere else, that's where you have the most infection rate of them all. So I don't know, is that another different thinking that we just go out and really immunize those 20 to 40 years old, because those are the carrier. The people that high risk at home, they don't go nowhere, really. They really don't go nowhere at all. They stay at home. But the 2040, that's the one that take them home. So I'm not sure. I would suggest that and see what public health say. But that's my thinking is immunize the high risk, the high carrier, and then you can get rid of the rest, but they won't give to anybody.
Doc, the FDA any day now is expected to issue the emergency use authorization for the Moderna vaccine. Is there anything we should know? Is there any major differences between the two?
I think it's the same. It's the same concept, and the efficacy is the same. I think 95% plus. I think the only difference is that you don't have to be the storage don't have to be so stringent like the. Okay. But I know that we're going to get that batch too. So, but if you get the Pfizer, then you stay to Pfizer. If you take the Moderna, then you stay Moderna. So you can mix with the two, but the concept is the same.
Mm-hmm. So it's also a 2-dose regimen. Is it also 21 days?
Yeah, I think 21 or 30 days. They have a little bit off on the calendar there, but it's still a 2-shot series. Mm-hmm. And the second one's supposed to be a booster. So, you got some immunity on the first one, but I think you had full immunity in the second one. So, that's the theory.
Mm-hmm. What's the latest with the Physicians Advisory Group? Did you guys meet this week?
Yeah, we met, and we basically iron out. Again, we still working the quarantine issue. I don't think it's going to be. There's several key things that have to take into account. Is that number one is what's the rate of positivity in the state, because that's the majority of our arriving passenger. We're just watching very careful, make sure that they don't surge way up. If they surge way up, then we have to be careful, because that's the majority of our arriving passenger. And the timeline, I think the timeline, we didn't set it, probably more likely is after the holiday, because, right now our car score are doing very well. I'm going to ask them to see if they track on the number of positivity and the quarantine factor to see if go up any. Logically, if you look at it, it should go up because the rate of positivity in the state are much higher now. So I'm going to ask them to provide those data. I think it's to kind of let us know so we can make a better decision on how we're going to change the quarantine rule or how long we're going to keep it. Mm-hmm. We like to shorten up a little bit, but probably after the holiday to see how things are going, because the prediction is January 15, that's the worst case scenario in the United States. So we have to watch that date carefully.
And is that because of a New Year's, Christmas, and then you wait the 2 weeks to see if there's any cases, or is that the reason why?
Yeah. Sabrina, that's correct. That's after the Christmas and New Year, people tend to gather a whole lot and see the spike going up. Just like after Thanksgiving, we see the spike going up in the state. Very thankfully that our people in Guam are doing very well. Again, I say thank you before, and I think everyone's say thank you again for our people for taking care of ourselves, so that way you can see our car score keep going down. So we did very well.
Mm-hmm. Just to go back to the quarantine issue, because there was a court hearing earlier this week, and there was an issue that was brought up regarding quarantine and public health, I believe, considering lowering the amount of days in quarantine. I believe it was 3. Is that the plan, or is that kind of what you guys are talking about?
You know, the CDC, we talked about last night, we really need to find out. They still, they suggest to low down from 14 days down to 10 days. But they still say that the most benefit will be 14 days. So I guess they didn't stand firm on the 10 days yet. So it's back up to the local jurisdiction to make a decision based on a different thing, like the number of positive in the local community or the hospitalization. So it's based on a lot of factors. I think the local jurisdiction have the right to kind of go from 10 to 14 days. CDC have not come out firmly say, hey, it's 10 days rather than 14 days. So I think that's just up to public health to make a decision of which one they choose to follow. Again, depend on the current situation.
Mm-hmm. What else did you guys talk about?
Try to ask the PAC to see what else we need to relax the restrictions just to because our rate is currently low, and I think the people who want the most is to have open door sports for kids. You know, the kids are stay at home for so long already, you know, and they need to kind of expand their energy by playing soccer, and every outdoor sport should be okay for the kids. Like I said, they have no school and they've been staying at home now for so long, and I think that outdoor sports should be allowed. So we're gonna ask to see if we can do that. And also in dining, a lot of all the PAC members agree with that. So we're gonna see if the next restriction can be lifted, some in dining from the restaurant.
Okay, those are 2 big things. No bars? Still no bars?
Big news. Yeah, actually, there's no, I don't know, we keep asking any data for any in dining, and I don't think we have any. You know, the crust situation is a totally different thing, you know, but in dining in Guam, the restaurant do a wonderful job in all their, you know, on the procedure and guideline. That I don't think we have one report case of in dining restaurant infection.
Mm-hmm. All right, Doc. What about schools? Did you guys talk about the return of face-to-face?
That's still I know we expect to open in January face-to-face. No, it's really still pending our positivity rate going into Christmas and New Year and how we come out of it. But I think planning should start. You know, kids need to have an option to do face-to-face education. And again, the school are doing a very good job. A lot of them are doing a very good job and put a lot of guidelines together. You can see the Dodea school, they have been open now for a month or more, and there's no infection rate there. Mm-hmm. So I think children need to go back to school, and we just need to make sure that when they go back, that every school put together a very restricted guideline to make sure the infection is not there. And the testing need to be continued. You know, one thing I want to ask people is that get your immunization doesn't mean that you drop your 3W. You know, you still can get infection with the immunization, but hopefully the severity of the illness is not as severe. So this will help us in going forward of our life in somewhat the new normal, but doesn't mean that you drop everything. You know, you still have to practice your 3W. So I hear a lot of people say that immunization is the end of pandemic, and truly it's not. It helped the pandemic a whole lot, and what we can do and protect life. That's why it is protect life. So if you get the virus, you don't feel so sick, and hopefully you don't end up in the hospital. But it doesn't mean that you drop everything you do, because when you pass this message out and you drop everything, I tell you, you're gonna have a surge of the infection again if we don't put the message out there clearly.
Yeah, it's been a long journey. I think that's what Zena Senior was talking about, where she got really choked up and emotional when she was getting vaccinated yesterday, tearing up, saying that it's been an extremely long journey. And I think she was kind of reflecting about all the things that happened, right, in the past 8-9 months. And to finally get to this point, how do you feel?
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. That's why I went and get my shot right away. It's wonderful because what the benefit, guys, is that when you get the immunization, if I happen to come across someone and I happen to drop my guard somehow, if I get sick, hopefully, just like any other immunization in the past, is that your severity will be much less than if you don't have the immunization. So the chance that you end up in a hospital and get really sick are very small. It's really cut down that risk for you to end up in the hospital. But again, she's correct. But again, we do not want to drop the 3W. We still need to protect ourselves by wearing your mask, wash your hands, and social distance. And so that way we don't have another surge. So we just want to put the message out there that do not drop your guard. You are protected, but do not go back to the normal like before, because that's when you get in trouble.
All right. Thanks a lot, Doc, for your time. Merry Christmas.
You're welcome, guys.
All right,
and be safe and shot when it's your turn, okay?
All right.
Okay.
We're waiting to get in the line.
Okay. Bye. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
You too. All right, to our viewers on KUAM TV, thanks so much for watching us. You can switch over to 93.9 The Breeze, or you can go on to Facebook, and we're streaming live. So thank you so much for watching, and good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Happy Friday. All right. A whole lot coming up here on the show. We have a lot of guests still to come, so just hang in there. If you just logged on to the Facebook, if you have comments, go ahead and drop them in. I will definitely take care of those. But yes, we're back here on the link with your host, Sabrina Salas-Matanani. In the Zoom room, we have Andy Wheeler. Here in studio as well, we have Jason Salas, Joe Sir, myself, Victorious, as we continue this Friday show of The Link.
Still to come, we've got from the Federal Emergency Management Agency. We haven't spoken with him in a while, so it'd be good to catch up. We've got Frank Mansell from FEMA. Yeah, we call him FEMA Frank.
Yeah, get to meet FEMA Frank.
Yeah, we had a lot of conversations with him early on, right, during the pandemic. And so I guess he's back in California, and reached out to him, and he's going to come back on the show. So
and he wasted no time in being very gracious and giving us like an hour of his time on day 2 of the pandemic. And he really wanted to emphasize to the community that FEMA's here, and we are going to be here for you until this thing is done.
Right, so we're going to catch up with him after the break.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
We're doing a good job, Guam. In the past couple of weeks, we've managed to keep the CAR score below 5. Together, we rose to the challenge when the governor asked us all to strive for 5.
In the past couple of weeks, we've not only brought the CAR score way down from being in the high 40s to below 5, we've shown the governor that we're capable of altering the course of this pandemic. We were on a path to uncertainty, but now because of all of our actions, we're doing better.
But better doesn't necessarily mean that we are out of the woods. We still need to watch our distance, wash our hands, and wear our masks. So please keep striving, Guam.
We got this.
Hey kids! With the best holiday of the year approaching, KUAM has arranged a way for you to make sure Santa knows what you want for Christmas. Santa and Mrs. Claus have set up a virtual mailbox at KUAM.com with help from your friends at Dial Rent to Own. This is a chance for you to write your very own letter to Santa. Have an adult download the letter form, fill it out with your Christmas wishes, and send it in to us at letterstosanta@KUAM.com. Santa will read every letter submitted, but you may be chosen to join our Christmas Zoom party where you get to talk to the big guy himself on December 19th. If you're chosen, you will receive a special emailed invitation for you to attend the virtual fun. Stay informed with the stations and platforms of KUAM for all the details, and make sure you are being nice and not too naughty from today until Santa comes to visit. Letters to Santa is brought to you by Dial Rent to Own and all the L's at KUAM.
Merry Christmas.
Let's get merry during the most wonderful time of the year by making spirits bright. KUAM and its community partners, McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, and the Guam Museum want to highlight your decorations and lights by flooding the social media pages of KUAM with your videos and photos. Finish your holiday setup, snap a few shots or video of your delightful display, and send it to us through social media or email them to promotions@KUAM.com. Check out our posts every Friday or tune in to KUAM News Weekend Edition for a special montage of the submissions certain to be making spirits bright with every broadcast. Warmest holiday wishes from McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, the Guam Museum, and KUAM Communications. Breaking news! This just in, Santa has a combined $4,000 to give away for Guam's best outdoor holiday display. Submit your outdoor display for a chance to win cash prizes. All submissions will be posted on our Facebook page, and the top 10 most liked pictures or videos wins a special cash prize to make your season even brighter. Visit KUAM.com for more details.
We got your 6.
At 6 a.m. with the link on Breeze 93.9 FM. Bree and I connect you with all the latest news and information you need to know to start your day.
Then check back with Guam's news leader at 6 p.m. for the day's top headlines with KUAM News Primetime.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and everything else in between with KUAM Digital, we got your 6.
These are some of the signs that someone is thinking about suicide. Talking about wanting to die, excessive guilt or shame, and feeling like a burden to others. Feeling empty, hopeless, trapped, or having no reason to live. Feeling extremely sad, anxious, agitated, or full of rage with unbearable emotional or physical pain. Other signs include changing behavior, such as making a plan or researching ways to die, withdrawing from friends or saying goodbye, giving away important items or making a will, taking dangerous risks such as driving extremely fast, displaying extreme mood swings, eating or sleeping more or less, and using drugs or alcohol more often. If you or someone you know is showing these warning signs, get help as soon as possible. Call Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center's crisis hotline at 647-8833 or 4.
If you plan on leaving your house, don't forget your face mask. Along with hand washing and social distancing, wearing face masks can drastically reduce your risk of infection. Many people who catch COVID-19 can be contagious before they even start showing symptoms. The more people who use face masks, the less the virus can be transmitted and fewer individuals are exposed. When we both wear face masks, I protect you, you protect me, and we are both safe.
8:08 in the morning. It's a Friday and another edition of The Link. Remember, this show probably brought to you by Calvo Enterprises and IT&E. We're back with your hosts, Sabrina Salas, Matt Tanani, Andy Wheeler in the Zoom, Jason and Joe here in studio with myself, Victorious. Welcome back to the show.
And let's head straight into the Zoom room where we have Frank Manzel. He is from the Federal Emergency Management Agency. He actually has been on our show way back, kind of at the beginning of the pandemic. So it's good to see you and to catch up with you. Frank, how are you?
Off a day, and happy holidays and Merry Christmas. Yes, I started so long ago I had hair at the time.
So you're back in California, is that right?
I am. I've been in California since the end of May,
Mm-hmm.
and I've had the opportunity to work another disaster since then, but we're still keeping our finger on the pulse of what's going on in Guam, and we've had a team of IMAT specialists just depart the island today for the mainland, and we have 2 remaining staff who are dedicated to the affairs there right now.
Mm-hmm. So if you could, just give us an update on some of the programs and assistance, at least, to date, that FEMA has assisted Guam with, because we haven't heard a lot.
Sure. One of the first things we started out with was pushing supplies, protective medical equipment, personal equipment. And to date, what we've done is we've provided N95 masks in the tune of 300,000 N95 masks, 4.4 million surgical masks, ventilators, 34, face shields, 188,000 face shields, coveralls and biohazard bags of 3,300. So we've continued to, or actually we just about all done pushing that material to Guam, and that was our initial push, and that's where we're totaling out right now.
Mm-hmm.
There are a number of other, items that we've shipped, but that constitutes a bulk of it.
Mm-hmm. Right, and I think one of those items that was shipped were these federal medical stations, right? Whatever happened to
yes.
those?
Well, we received 2. We received them early on, and we had not used them by the time I had left in May. Still trying to track down if they were deployed and opened and used. But I believe that they may have. I'm going to have to call you back and let you know that. I've got to call into my person on the ground in Guam.
Mm-hmm. And if you could just go over what those FMSs are.
The FMS stands for Federal Medical Station, and it is a series of 48 large compartmentalized boxes, and they contain a cot, medical stands for IV units, and everything else that's needed for emergency care immediately. They're intended to be set up. They were deployed by the Department of Health and Human Services, Department of Public Health and Human Services, and we just transported them and stored them until needed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember talking about this pretty in depth several months ago when you first got here, and because there was the fear, right, that we would see just so many people getting infected. And I mean, here we are, 7,000 positive cases later.
Situation has certainly changed since I left. I believe when I left, there were 5 fatalities, and the trend was certainly on the downslope. But watching it climb now to well over 100 fatalities, and as you said, 7,000 cases, that's quite a shift. And it's, we have not left. We still have resources. We have people back in Oakland here that are actually processing what are called public assistance projects. To date, we've got 39 projects from GovGuam that are being reviewed. We've put $13.7 million in awarded projects for 6 projects. So 6 projects totaling $13.7 million for things like PPE, security services, overtime services, and the conversion of the hospital from Guam Memorial Hospital to convert that and increase its ICU capacity. And so that's kind of one of the ways we're supporting the effort.
Mm-hmm. Did you say 39 projects? Still waiting?
39 are under review.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell us what those are?
No, I cannot off the top of my head. I know that I can tell you what we have awarded funds for. One was for $29,000 for the purchase of personal protective equipment and disinfecting supplies at non-congregate shelters. There was emergency protective measures in the form of $8,200 for security and traffic control at the Guam visitors area. And that's who it went to. I don't know the exact location.
Mm-hmm.
Emergency protective measures, $18,000 for staffing at the quarantine sites. Medical supplies of $182,000 for essential government employees. And overtime for the Emergency Operations Center for those staff that were initially budgeted for. So if they were on staff before and required overtime, then we would pay for part of that overtime. And then $11.5 million to convert the Guam Memorial Hospital and make it ready for the increased number of staff or number of infected persons.
What? So I'm sorry. So FEMA awarded up to $11 million to the Guam Memorial Hospital
to temporarily convert it to an alternate care site.
I see. And again, 39 projects are still up for review.
Right.
Yes. And how much money are we talking with these 39 projects? Do you know?
Of the 39 that are outstanding, there's a total potential value of $18.9 million.
Do you think you could send me the list later?
I'll check, see what I can do for you.
All right. Thank you so much, Frank. So you're back in California. What's it like over there?
I just saw just before lunch the ICU bed capacity in Southern California has reached 100%, which means there are no ICU beds left, reporting out of Southern California. So it's everything is in lockdown here. The governor's, like a number of states, has initiated measures that are probably best in the long run to make sure that we contain things.
Mm-hmm.
Frank, at the beginning, you mentioned, kind of dealing with some other emergencies as well. I'm assuming you were referring to the wildfires. Where are we at with that?
Most of the wildfires are either extinguished or contained. I think the last wildfire outbreak occurred just outside of southeastern Los Angeles County and Orange County.
Mm-hmm.
That is contained, probably still burning a bit, but contained.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been a wildfire season for us. But we still keep an eye on what's happening with Guam. Just because one disaster hits doesn't mean that we don't finish the job on the other.
Is FEMA contributing to the vaccination distribution here on Guam?
No, that's all coordinated by the Department of Public Health and Social Services.
Mm-hmm.
So that, although another federal department, we don't have anything to do with that.
No, I just meant like with like providing supplies or anything like that, or resources, funding?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, because public health did mention that they were working with FEMA regarding cold storage units.
Well, actually, that's true. That is what's called a mission assignment, and we are working on a mission assignment is a special project where we will go in with all federal resources that we can. And we are, in fact, looking at procuring the necessary freezers to maintain that vaccinations at the proper temperatures. So that's a top priority for us right now.
Any other priorities?
Nothing that comes to mind. I know that let me just look at the mission assignments that are out there. We have right now what are called telehealth internists, and that's where you would have access to medical treatment via the computer. And we've actually have retained some doctors to do that and contracted them up until the end of December. We've received a request for some cots for the Department of Corrections, and we're working on that through the mission assignment process. And as I said, we've also extended the Title 32 for the National Guard, which extends that to either mid-month or to the end of the month.
The National Guard,
Frank?
is that a 75% cost share, or what is that?
Yes, that is.
Okay. What
Frank, when your number gets called, are you going to get vaccinated?
Yeah, and I expect that will probably be in the summer. None of us are first responders. And like I say, I'll wait in line and hope for the warmer vaccine instead of the colder one.
Frank, real quickly.
So I could wait till September as far as I'm concerned.
Real quickly, Frank, could you tell me a little bit more about the mission assignment you were talking about for DOC? I didn't get that. Did you say pods?
No, the Department of Defense. These are the these are the telehealth folks. The Department of Corrections is who we're providing COTS for. So there's a request for that. COTS, C-O-T-S.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What are the COTS for?
I have to read that up.
To sleep on.
No, I mean, duh.
Thank you. I'll find out more about that for you. I apologize for not having that at my fingertips. That would be a resource that I'll have to call on.
All right. Thanks a lot, Frank, for coming on and giving us an update.
Yes, and like I say, I'd just like to wish you the best and ask that, all the residents of Guam good health, and that they're pay attention to their social distancing and their isolation and their quarantines. I'm so sorry that the numbers have escalated the way they have. It's having been on the island so long, it's I have a little bit of kinship with that, although not the way you do. So anyway, thank you very much for inviting me on.
All right. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Have a day.
Again, that was Frank Mansell with the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Just catching up with him. It's been a while since he has been on the show. The last time was, 7-8 months ago when things were really starting to ramp up. Yeah, during Containing COVID. That's right, during our first show, Containing COVID. So we're going to take a break.
Remember those days, Sabrina, when it was just supposed to be a temporary containing COVID thing?
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yep. 8-9 months later. Well, we're going to take a break and we're going to come back with Fire Chief Dan Stone.
KUAM. Catch the holiday soundtrack starting December 1st through January 5th. You'll be treated to an all-day festive playlist only on Breeze 93.9 FM. Also streaming on KUAM.com and the KUAM mobile app. Let's spread joy and holiday cheer this season. Holiday soundtrack is brought to you by Domino's. Visit domino's.gu for faster, easier online ordering.
We're doing a good job, Guam. In the past couple of weeks, we've managed to keep the car score below 5. Together, we rose to the challenge when the governor asked us all to strive for 5.
In the past couple of weeks, we've not only brought the car score way down from being in the high 40s to below 5, we've shown the governor that we're capable of altering the course of this pandemic. We were on a path to uncertainty, but now because of all of our actions, we're doing better.
But better doesn't necessarily mean that we are out of the woods. We still need to watch our distance, wash our hands, and wear our masks. So please keep striving, Guam.
We got this.
Hey kids! With the best holiday of the year approaching, KUAM has arranged a way for you to make sure Santa knows what you want for Christmas. Santa and Mrs. Claus have set up a virtual mailbox at KUAM.com with help from your friends at Dial Rent to Own. This is a chance for you to write your very own letter to Santa. Have an adult download the letter form, fill it out with your Christmas wishes, and send it in to us at letterstosanta@KUAM.com. Santa will read every letter submitted, but you may be chosen to join our Christmas Zoom party where you get to talk to the big guy himself on December 19th. If you're chosen, you will receive a special emailed invitation for you to attend the virtual fun. Stay informed with the stations and platforms of KUAM for all the details and make sure you are being nice and not too naughty from today until Santa comes to visit. Letters to Santa is brought to you by Dial Rent to Own and all the L's at KUAM.
Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad.
Thank you so much, Candyman. Feliz Navidad from Live Local Fridays, years and years ago. 8:26 in the morning. We're still here on a Friday, giving you the latest and everything news and information. We got you right here on the link. Sabrina Salas, Matt Tanani, Jason Salas, Andy Wheeler in the Zoom room, Joe Sir, myself, Victorious. It's the link, and we are back.
And speaking of the Zoom room, we are going to check in with Dan Stone, Chief of the Guam Fire Department. Good morning, Chief.
Good morning, Sabrina. How are you?
I'm okay. How about you?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much for asking.
How excited are you? We're in the vaccination phase of this pandemic. How many, firefighters have been vaccinated?
Oh, yeah. So very exciting times. I mean, this is the first day, or yesterday was the first day to the road to recovery, hopefully. I stay very optimistic when I say that because, this vaccine is going to be one of those additional tools that we already have in play that since the governor put the protocols and the and PCOR 1 restrictions in. And so I'm very happy to say that as of yesterday, we had 94 of our firefighters who were willing to receive the vaccination.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so that's the result of the poll you took amongst.
Well, actually, we have a total of 160 who as of yesterday, were willing to accept the vaccination. 94 of those were tested yesterday. Were given the vaccination yesterday.
Oh.
But with the balance of them receiving the vaccination over the next, today and Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Will you be taking the vaccination?
So absolutely. Once I get scheduled for it, I'll be to get in line to be able to take the vaccination. Sure.
Mm-hmm. So if you could
Chief, did you get a sense from polling your people there? Those that did object, do you have any idea why? I'm just curious the concerns that people may have.
Oh, thanks for the question, Andy. Good to see you. Hope everything's going well for you. So for the most part, I think they're adopting like everybody else, a wait and see attitude. I think sure there's probably some concern with regards to what the side effects are, but by and large, the large consensus of the firefighters was that they were ready to receive this vaccine. So specific information was as to what why some of them are hesitant wasn't asked because it is voluntary. So, but we respect everybody's decision, sure.
Mm-hmm. The 94 that did get vaccinated, are they, I guess, station assigned to the stations, or are they like dispatch?
Right. So the majority of the 94 that were tested yesterday are from the fire stations and the different bureaus. But 9 of those as well were actually our 911 dispatchers as well. Because as you recall, in the past we've had instances where we've had close contacts in the 911 center, given the very close spaces that they have, and so. The ask was to include them in that vaccination, and public health has been very good about acknowledging their importance to the emergency response, because they are the first link of our emergency response.
Mm-hmm. And just to talk about the positive cases, because I think there were a few that came out in some of the press releases as of late. What's the total number of firefighters that have tested positive?
I want to say it's about 12 or 13 of our firefighters since the onset have tested positive. We do have 3 of our firefighters that are currently on home isolation, having tested positive, and then we have 1 that's on home quarantine due to a close contact and pending the outcome of testing. So again, everything we do is out of an abundance of caution. Obviously, with the positives, there is an absolute need for them to be home isolated, and with as far as the close contact, that's absolutely out of an abundance of caution, just to make sure that they do come back negative.
Mm-hmm. And none of the firefighters have been hospitalized, right?
That's correct. So none of our firefighters have been hospitalized.
Okay. And so I remember early on during the pandemic, GFD stood up, I want to say transport units, I think in Estumbo and Jotnya?
That's correct.
Right?
That's correct.
And,
spot on.
Okay. Is there another one that opened recently?
So yes. So we've recently stood up a 3rd transport unit, and that is actually located down at the PD fire station. We recognized as we were going through, and as you recall, a couple of weeks ago when we started to have those very huge spikes, the 2 transport units were absolutely getting tasked out very heavily. And so in discussion with the chief officers and my infection control officer, we thought it prudent on our part to be able to stand up that 3rd unit, just to be able to take some of the pressure off of the 2 units that were already stood up.
How's morale been over at GFD? This has really been a long response, and we're still going.
Well, I agree with you. This has definitely been a very protracted event, but there is that light at the end of the tunnel. So we're, again, the men and women of the Guam Fire Department, they understand, they get this. This is the job they signed up for, and they take it very seriously. And so, as far as the morale is concerned, I would like to say that the majority of the morale is very high, very dedicated, and committed to win this fight against COVID. And we're going to continue to lean forward and do what we can to be able to service our community.
I guess,
Chief, I know I'm late to the party here. I'm just filling in for Chris while he's on vacation. So if this has been covered before, I apologize. We talked to Chief Ignacio about getting the officers certified to administer those tests. GFD, are you guys administering, or is there training underway?
No, so there hasn't been a need for us to receive the training, because the testing is actually done by GMH or the treatment centers that we deliver potential patients to, not potential patients, patients to. And so there isn't really any cause for GFD specifically to administer any of those Abbott testings.
Okay.
All right. Chief, was there anything else you'd like to say about or provide an update over at Guam Fire?
Other than to say thank you very much. Thank you very much. The outpouring of support that we've been receiving over the months has been tremendous. And that is largely has everything to do with the men and women of the Guam Fire Department and their commitment and dedication. They understood very early the gravity of the situation and has stayed the course throughout. The great thing is when we do engage and we talk to our crews, especially the transport crews, because I had some concerns that maybe it's time to rotate them out, and they were absolutely adamant about saying, Chief, no, I'm in this to the end. We got this, and so that speaks. That's the testament to the dedication of the Guam Fire Department, and I can't thank them enough. Other than that, go ahead.
Do you guys have a boot drive coming up anytime soon?
Not that I'm tracking, Andy, unless you know something I don't.
Let's get one rolling.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
No, so again, I'd just like to encourage, the vaccine is out there, and as the more arrive and more people are scheduled, I would like to encourage people to avail themselves of this vaccine. Again, it's just another tool in the toolbox to fight this virus. And of course, wish everybody a very happy and safe holiday. Please, wear your mask, social distance. Just because you got the shot doesn't mean that we're through this yet. So stay committed, and we're going to get through this together.
All right. Thanks a lot, Chief. And we certainly appreciate you and all the men and women over at Guam Fire. So
thank
Merry
you
Christmas.
very much, Sabrina, Andy, Jason. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you all. Take care.
Okay. And that was Chief Dan Stone giving us an update on what's happening over at the Guam Fire Department. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll head back into the Zoom room with Dr. Margaret Hatomi Jima.
Let's get merry during the most wonderful time of the year by making spirits bright. KUAM and its community partners, McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, and the Guam Museum want to highlight your decorations and lights by flooding the social media pages of KUAM with your videos and photos. Finish your holiday setup, snap a few shots or video of your delightful display, and send it to us through social media or email them to promotions@KUAM.com. Check out our posts every Friday or tune in to KUAM News Weekend Edition for a special montage of the submissions certain to be making spirits bright with every broadcast. Warmest holiday wishes from McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, the Guam Museum, and KUAM Communications. Breaking news! This just in, Santa has a combined $4,000 to give away for Guam's best outdoor holiday display. Submit your outdoor display for a chance to win cash prizes. All submissions will be posted on our Facebook page, and the top 10 most liked pictures or videos wins a special cash prize to make your season even brighter. Visit KUAM.com for more details.
Oh man, taking you back. Live Local Friday, it's Serena and Paige featuring Zach. We are 19 minutes away from 9 o'clock in the morning. You're tuned into The Link. Remember, this show probably brought to you by Calvo Enterprises and IT&E. We're back with more guests here in the Zoom room. Of course, with your hosts, Sabrina Salas, Matt Tinani, Andy Wheeler, Jason Salas, Joe Sir, myself, Victorious. Welcome to the show.
And we are linking up with Dr. Margaret Hattori Uchima. She's the Dean of the UOG School of Nursing. And there's some really good news out of UOG with 24 nurse aides have been trained and ready to go for pandemic response. Good morning, Doc.
Morning. Thanks for having me. And great work on getting the word out about the vaccine. I really appreciate that.
Did you get the vaccine?
No, not yet. Not yet. We want those frontliners, right, to go first.
Right. So let's talk about this release that came out about the 24 new nursing aides.
Well, this was really a pilot and very innovative. So we were trying to keep it quiet until they were through the program, and we didn't even recruit through social media or the regular media because we had already had an overwhelming response. So Sabrina, Jason, and Andy, you guys have covered the nursing shortage even prior to the pandemic. And, you've been great about having the RNs on the link and, throughout the past couple of years. But in the pandemic, it heightened the need for RNs. But in October, we had been talking to the hospitals, and I have a faculty that works at GMH. And so they were really relaying to us the terrible shortage in nursing assistants. And there are 4 programs on island. And in March, unfortunately, we had to stop our CNA program. We had one ongoing. They're usually a 2.5-month program. GCC also has a good one. Guam Mariana's training, and then Dodea. So we all stopped because it requires a lot of practicum, hands-on. You got to go to the hospital. And our clinical site was the GMH SNU. And we all know, that shut down. Rightfully so, and to protect the safety of the patients, we could not do clinical there. And so our focus was really in March on getting our BSN students out and then getting the rest of the BSNs continuing in the program. And so we've been doing a lot in that regard. But then in October, it kind of really hit us that our nursing assistants, that because all the programs shut down, there was this horrible shortage. And, in the mainland, the nursing assistants primarily work in nursing homes. And the nursing homes, in the history of COVID, right, the short history, the nursing homes have been hit the hardest in the mainland in the early months. And so the federal government allowed for facilities that hire nursing assistants to waive certain requirements. And so every state has a different requirement for how many hours it takes to train a CNA. Our program was about 160 hours. Guam requires 120 hours. And this includes the theory, the lab practice, and then, of course, the hands-on care at the bedside. But in the states, they allowed a lot of states came up with this 8-hour online training, and nursing homes were struggling. I mean, really desperate situation. And so they were actually hiring people after an 8-hour online training, no faculty. Like, you just sign up and you take it online. And then the state of Colorado allowed for all their schools shut down, and they allowed for all students in existing CNA programs to take a 13 to 15-hour online course. And so we looked at it. We had an emergency meeting with the nurse leaders, and I got to tell you, GMH nurse administrators and GRMC and HSP, everybody dropped everything. And, I said, hey, can we have a quick meeting and, can we find out what your shortage is? And when we met October 22nd, HSP, GMH, and GRMC had a shortage of 55 CNAs just at that time period. And it's a lot of work to put out a CNA. People might think it's an easy job, which it's not. I mean, I was a nursing assistant, and honestly, when I got my RN license and I promoted from nursing assistant to RN, I was so relieved because being a CNA was so much stress. But it's a great skill for everybody to have. And so we met with them, and we decided that I mean, I talked to the nursing faculty. We just didn't feel that 8 hours was workable. And so we came up with a short course, a 1-week training program, 8 hours a day for 32 hours of online training. And we did use one of the training that Colorado uses. We used their 13 hours supplemented with our faculty. We did it live with Zoom, fully online. And then the hospitals and HSP, Health Services of the Pacific, spent 3 days doing hands-on skills practice and training with all of these candidates, the participants. And so, in a matter of a week, we were able to get them trained and out, and the hospitals and HSP hired them.
So 24 is a good number, but there's still that huge shortage. So is there another batch that's on the way?
Yes, Andy, great question. So GCC, thankfully, Dee Mangonia, who runs the GCC program, GCC and I, we were activated at the same time when the state of emergency happened. And we were activated under the nursing resource, command post. And our primary function is to boost the staffing, right, in any way that we can. And so I told her, she was involved in the planning from day one. And I told her, there is no way that UOG can pump out 60 nursing assistants. Plus we have 35 junior nursing students and 29 seniors. And we're in the middle of getting them through their practicum and their theory. So GCC was great and stepped up and said, okay, Margaret, so I'll do 30 and GCC will do 30. And we both tried to start with 30, but for us, we ended up with some people dropping out, which is, understandable. And so we ended up completing 24. And GCC started 30 and they're in the middle of their program now. But and so, it is a pilot. The Board of Nursing was instrumental because we had to get permission from the board because this is a whole new, it's a whole new world. And we had to meet with the governor because I have our geriatrics workforce enhancement grant from HRSA does pay for some funds for nursing assistant training, but it doesn't pay for everything that we needed to put out this innovative program. And so we met with the governor and she was great. She approved it on the spot. Well, I mean, I sent her the proposal ahead of time, but a couple days later, she approved it and she funded a stipend for them, as well as some of the resources like this online course that we got from Colorado that we're using, because that's about $150 per student, and that was not in my original budget. So we're very happy that it was really, I have to say, it was really a collaboration. And, this really shows the spirit of our healthcare infrastructure, where we had GMH, GRMC, Health Service of the Pacific, UOG, GCC, and the governor's office. And without that collaboration, there's no way this could have happened. And like I said, it's a pilot. It's in the early stages. We had some students decide that, this wasn't the right thing for them. But we've had others that are just reporting, one individual was working at GMH already through a Department of Labor grant for displaced workers. And he gave me goosebumps because in the informational meeting, he said, working at GMH in environmental services changed his life. And because of that and meeting the nurses and the other aides, he said that's what made him decide to jump into this program. And because this is asking a lot of a person. You're going to be out there giving someone a bed bath, getting as personal as you can get with another human being, and risking your own health and safety. And so we included COVID training. We included things about, stress reduction, deep breathing. GMH and GRMC were very upfront about, this is a COVID response. This isn't just something to put on your resume, right? So it takes a special kind of person to actually want to work in this field and want to be a nursing assistant, because it is a difficult job.
Well, there's a lot of special people at the healthcare facilities here. And have you seen an uptick in people that, since we're in a pandemic and they see what the nurses and doctors are going through, have you seen an increase in people interested in helping out?
Well, I will tell you, I was shocked. When we decided to recruit, right? And like I said, we didn't go through the media. And the reason we didn't was because as soon as we put out a flyer, and I only put out the flyer to the nurse managers. We have a chat group with all the nurse managers, and including the private sector and outpatient. And within the first day, we were getting over 50 calls. So by the weekend, we put it out on a Thursday. By the Monday, we already had 200 interested people. Wow. And so GCC had similar response. We had 100 applications, and GCC's was similar. So yes, I believe, and we heard the same thing from a lot of people that, they wanted to help. We had someone that just said, yeah, I don't have any healthcare background, but I want to help. I want to get in there and help people. And remember, this was in October, November, and the COVID numbers were just crazy, and there was a lot of fear. There still is a lot of fear, but now with the vaccine, we've got that, we've got hope, right? But still, we still are short. And what I found out last month, and I feel kind of bad, but we do have a shortage in outpatient arenas, right, for nursing assistants. We need nursing assistants in every group home, and people that do in-home supportive services. And so we started our CNA training, our regular CNA training, which is a 2.5-month program. We started that back up with the group that we had postponed in March. And so we've got 20 of them, and they're at GRMC this week and next week doing their practicum. So, I got to just thank them too, because they didn't drop out. And these are individuals, most of them are actually working for the Mayor's Council and CSS already, Catholic Social Services. So yeah, Andy, there's a lot of people that are, really just want to do this. Yes, it's a job, and yes, you get a paycheck, but being a nursing assistant, I feel, is one of the hardest jobs out there. So the fact that they want to help their fellow person, right, throughout this pandemic is just, it's a testament to their strength.
I was just curious, the breakdown, is it a majority of women, men, younger people?
So this is what's really interesting. And I taught CNAs before I taught BSNs. I lived in California and I taught CNAs for about 3 years. And I got to say, it's like being a den mother. You have a really wide variety of people. At CNA schools, you have a lot of older women coming back as a second career, or they've raised their families and they decide they want to go back to school. And so it's very heartwarming because these women will stick it out. They've raised kids. Mm-hmm. They've juggled a lot of different things. And the great thing is they know how to problem solve. And let's say you get a patient, you're lying in the bed, maybe you're a hospice patient, or maybe you're a COVID patient. These are people that already have that care and compassion, because I can't teach someone to be caring. I'm not, by the time I get a student, if they're 20, 18, 20, 30, 50 years old, right? They've got to have that caring in them. We can role model it, so I love having these older students because they don't take this lightly. And in fact, the woman that's in the photo in our press release, I love her. She would come into class, beautiful hat on, all dressed up, and it's online class. What the heck? I'd probably be wearing my pajamas. And she's working at GRMC in the telemetry unit. And yesterday when they took her picture, she's all smiles, and just seeing her through Zoom, you could just see the energy. And I heard yesterday from the nurse that's there that, the one thing they're saying about her is she has so much energy. And she's an older person. She was a nursing assistant in the States, moved to Guam, right? And so this was a great opportunity. But we do have some males. And I got to tell you, and I don't mean to be gender biased, Andy, our male students, particularly if they come in older or from a second career, they are great. Like this one, Javon, I love him. And he was in the media, so I'm not breaking confidentiality. Javon, he was the one that said it changed his life. And I mentioned before, so he was one of the DOL displaced workers. And, you guys have saw the ad when DOL put out an ad saying, we need workers to help sanitize at GMH for COVID. And I thought, who the heck is going to apply for that job? I mean, Hello, I've done a lot of things, but I don't know that that would be first on my list. And this man is doing it. And I believe his job before was a bus driver. But anyway, yeah. And then we do have some young people. I tried to get a diverse range, all different ethnicities, different age groups. And it's good to have some of the younger ones. Some of the younger ones were scared and, we had one even change their mind, but then they talked to the other ones that are still working at GMH, that were successful. And the great thing with GMH and GRMC is we've had a few say, hey, I don't know if I want to do it. They took a day off or a week off even. And now they're saying, hey, I want to come back. And the nurse managers are saying, okay, we'll take them back. We'll train them. So, we're really happy with this partnership.
Well, thanks a lot, Doc. Any other programs or anything else coming out of the UOG School of Health?
Well, I'm proud to report that, working with public health, they've been letting our senior nursing students and myself and another faculty go with them on the mass testing. And so the students have been learning a lot. They've been out in the community. Public health has been so gracious, and where we may help them with the mass vaccinations as well. And so we're very happy about that. But we are progressing our seniors so that the goal is to graduate them in May if we can, right? Because that'll be 29 other nurses. And the nursing students that graduated in May are all working at GMH and GRMC. And I just got to give a shout out to them because, you start your career in a pandemic, who could have imagined? And there's a lot of stress and a lot of fear. So I have to thank the nurses that are working there, that are mentoring them. And of course, the community, showing a lot of compassion and understanding for the nurses and other healthcare workers. People can criticize, the infrastructure at GMH, the old building, but you can't criticize these men and women that are, especially the young ones that are willing to work and not sit it out. Even my senior nursing students, I gave them the opportunity to take an incomplete if, because of stress and the pandemic and other issues that may come up, and they all stuck it out. So I've got 29 seniors moving ahead and 35 juniors. And so I just really, want to say there is hope. People are still, we're still trying to do what we can to move things along. It's not easy, but we're trying. So thank you too for all your support.
Real quick, Dr. Hattori, hi, Vic here. I don't know if you remember me. We did
yes,
I had
course.
you on the tribute for Eddie Boo. That was such a beautiful message you had for him. But I had a question. A caller just called. A lady was asking, she was so interested in what you were talking about, and she was wondering if there were, if you guys are going to be accepting more applicants later on, and how do they go about doing applying and stuff like that.
Well, GCC is doing another 30 right now, and then we are going to reassess because, there were a lot of challenges, right? There's a lot that you have to go through to get people hired and trained in healthcare. So we're going to reassess with the nurse leaders, and, as the numbers are dropping, right, knock on wood, and holiday time, we want everyone to stay safe so the numbers don't go back up. We will have to reassess, but we, GCC, UOG have caregiver training programs. And so both schools still have we still have those programs ongoing. I don't know when the next one will be. We're working with Department of Labor to see if we can start another one in February. But definitely, if you go to the UOG website, our email address is there for the School of Health. And you can look under School of Health and the nursing program. But we'll also make sure that we give out flyers if we're going to start another caregiver training. But yeah, anyone that's interested, there's a huge demand for caregivers as well as nursing assistants.
Sounds like you need a waiting list or something like that.
Yeah.
A sign up for it.
Yeah, you mentioned the shortage. I believe in the email it was 55. Is that island wide or just GMH?
No, and that, Andy, great question. And that's where, it was such an urgent need. So I focused on acute care, but we are finding in the outpatient settings, the people that do in-home support services, because caregivers are still doing home visits in the home care agencies, Catholic social service, because, they've got all the group homes. that there, and Guam Behavioral Health has group homes. And so there's shortages in all those areas. And so we're trying to figure out, it's so hard to juggle because I need to get those BSN students, right? And it's so hard to juggle offering caregiver, CNA, and the BSN. So we're working hand in hand with GCC to try to see how we can stagger, because they're also working on graduating their practical nurses. They have a batch that needs to graduate this month. So, you know, we're trying to time it out. So I'm hoping February, maybe we can start another cohort of our regular CNA. Because the
Well, I hope
temporary,
someday we have a surplus so these nurses can get some time off after this.
yeah, definitely. I agree. We all agree. And the key, I think, is for Guam to continue to, you know, you guys keep promoting it, you know, wear your masks. You know, there's a lot of concern as we are opening up and loosening restrictions, right? That we don't let our guard down and that the numbers go up. The healthcare people are really nervous. You know, as the governor was speaking right in her press conference about reopening, you know, I was having goosebumps thinking, oh my gosh, you know, and already we're seeing more people having Christmas parties, work parties, and people that don't live together eating out. And so we just have to be mindful that, you know, that's a very, very high risk, you know, and I got to thank you guys. Andy, you shared a lot about your story and just cautioning people that we still have high risk individuals. Our elders are still at risk. And so just be careful through the holidays. You guys are doing such a great job. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you, all the nurses, everyone out there that is providing that care, you know, acute care, outpatient care. We couldn't get through this without you, so thank you.
Thank you very much.
Merry
and happy
Christmas.
holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thanks.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks.
All right, we are going to take a break. Coming up next, we've got Dave Delgado, who's going to be joining us in the Zoom room with some of his guests to talk about tennis. Stay tuned.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information. Let's get merry during the most wonderful time of the year by making spirits bright. KUAM and its community partners, McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, and the Guam Museum want to highlight your decorations and lights by flooding the social media pages of KUAM with your videos and photos. Finish your holiday setup, snap a few shots or video of your delightful display, and send it to us through social media or email them to promotions@KUAM.com. Check out our posts every Friday or tune in to KUAM News Weekend Edition for a special montage of the submissions certain to be making spirits bright with every broadcast. Warmest holiday wishes from McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, the Guam Museum, and KUAM Communications. Breaking news! This just in, Santa has a combined $4,000 to give away for Guam's best outdoor holiday display. Submit your outdoor display for a chance to win cash prizes. All submissions will be posted on our Facebook page, and the top 10 most liked pictures or videos wins a special cash prize to make your season even brighter. Visit KUAM.com for more details.
We're doing a good job, Guam. In the past couple of weeks, we've managed to keep the CAR score below 5. Together, we rose to the challenge when the governor asked us all to strive for 5.
In the past couple of weeks, we've not only brought the CAR score way down from being in the high 40s to below 5, we've shown the governor that we're capable of altering the course of this pandemic. We were on a path to uncertainty, but now because of all of our actions, we're doing better.
But better doesn't necessarily mean that we are out of the woods. We still need to watch our distance, wash our hands, and wear our masks. So please keep striving, Guam.
We got this.
FM in Hagåtña, Guam. Guam. It's Breeze 93.9 FM, the link. And we are back and straight to the Zoom room here with Dave Delgado and Sports. Dave, take it away. Morning.
Hey, thanks for having us on the link. Dave Delgado here with Joshua Cepeda and Daniel Demek. Now, the Tennis Academy of Guam is going to be hosting a free tennis clinic for kids ages 7 to 16 years old at the Sheraton. What can the participants expect this weekend at the clinic?
Yeah, at the clinic, these kids can expect to learn the sport. Since it's for beginners, we'll introduce the sport to them, teach them the basic fundamentals, and then towards the end, we'll play some games with them, hitting the ball over the net, try to get some rallies going and whatnot.
And tennis, soccer, and golf were the three sports that were allowed back into play, during the whole lockdown and stuff. When kids enter the tennis facility, it's temperature checks, hand sanitation. What else do they go through as far as protocols?
Yeah, well, all participants and their parents must wear their masks walking in. We do the temperature checks, hand sanitation. All of our equipment are sanitized. Our ball tubes, chairs, and rackets that we lend to the kids to use during the sessions.
And parents should have their kids dress comfortably. And what should they bring as far as drinks or water?
Yeah, all the kids should dress, athletic wear rubber shoes if they don't have tennis shoes. And they should also bring their own water with their own water bottles.
Well, Daniel, you're one of the coaches over there at Tennis Academy of Guam, helping out with the kids. How is it just being back on the court and interacting with our young players?
Oh, it feels great. Like seeing the kids running around, like finding a place to, exert their energy after being home from school, like the whole day and all that, especially with quarantine. Seeing them interact with friends or like others, but by following social distance protocols, safety protocols. It provides a safe environment for them, which is a great thing. Feels
well,
great.
as a coach too, giving your time and helping these kids, it's about, progression and seeing them excel in the sport that they love.
Yes. So like just watching them, because right now with COVID, tennis is one of the only sports, as you said, right, that can play. Just watching them improve day by day, week by week, throughout this whole situation. It's great, having that sense of having an impact on helping them get to be where they are.
And props to the parents for believing in what you guys do over there and entrusting you guys with their kids, knowing that it is a safe environment for them to come out and, take part in a sport that everybody seems to be enjoying.
Yes. Shout out to the parents for bringing them out. It's not hard with this kind of situation, being home all day. So it's a good outlet for the kids to, be out there, sweat out whatever they have. And it's a fun sport for them to play.
And for a lot of people, they think tennis is hard, but for the younger age groups, you guys use a different set of balls and rackets just to allow them to have those types of rally to keep them engaged.
Yeah, that's right. So for the younger ones, like 7 to 9, or the really beginners, it's a softer ball. It's low compressed, so it doesn't bounce as high or go as far. And the rackets are much smaller, easier for the younger ones to hold and swing through.
And the Sheraton has been a great partner with Tennis Academy of Guam, allowing you guys to use their facility. And it speaks a lot for them to continue to support you guys and for you to support their business as well.
Oh, yeah. So they've been a big help. We are so grateful to have that location since it's so centrally located. And what we have, too, is we're able to store all our equipment in that one area. We don't have to carry it around in a big van or anything like that. So it's easy to set up and take down things when we need to.
Do you see more new players coming out, or is it a consistency of the same group of kids that come out and play?
When we came back in the summer, it was a new bunch of kids coming out, because most of these kids will do other sports like basketball or football or soccer. And now with tennis being one of the other sports, these kids want to do something, stay active. So they're all new, and we're happy to see different faces playing the sport.
And promoting the sport of tennis, the organization has done a great job. You have your own media team there taking pictures and posting information on your website and social media.
Yeah, so a lot of the marketing team is coming from GCCs. They're doing their marketing practicum and their Viscom practicum. So they come over and they do their work, take photos, and they post, and they put up designs for our website and our social media posts, which is pretty neat.
Well, also coming up is your Christmas breakout event. Tell us more about what you guys have in store.
Yeah, so coming up next week is our Christmas breakout, and it will be where these kids can hone their skills and learn to develop what they have, or if they're also new, we can bring it up to them and they'll be able to learn the sport. A lot of playing. There'll be also a lot of fundamentals going on.
Well, Coach Daniel, starting off the sessions with stretching and other workouts, talk about the specific things that these athletes will be learning while they attend these clinics and everything going on at the Sheraton.
So like with, let's say the after school programs, we focus a lot on drilling, practicing the strokes, and playing a lot of games. For the upcoming Christmas breakout, we're going to be teaching a lot of them will be returning from the after school programs. Some may be coming from the Christmas breakout, Christmas break. Yeah. So a lot of it will be, I guess, a mix of an introducing the basics for beginners to the sport, developing what they already have, and a lot of playing games.
And for what you guys do, you really help with the high school tennis as well, because these young players are up and coming, and it allows them another outlet when they do enter high school to continue their sports.
Yeah, so a lot of these kids are entering. We have a lot that are in high school and entering high school, so we're trying to get them ready for the high school season. So we're really working them hard to bring up their game level, their match level to what it needs to be for this upcoming season.
And do you see a lot of potential with these athletes that, one day may represent Guam on a national level if they continue putting in that work?
Yeah, a lot of them have potential. Actually, one of our students, Arman Sachdev, was part of the Junior Davis Cup team. And so he's actually going to be a freshman now. And so we have the future is bright for him. So we're excited to see what he has to do for the next season coming up.
And we've had a few players able to continue their playing careers in college and offering, scholarships for some of these kids in the sport of tennis definitely will help the growth here on island.
Oh yeah, so we're very hopeful for the future. If they keep working hard, keep grinding, keep doing what they got to do, then that goal is not too far from them.
Well, the Guam National Tennis Federation will also be organizing a free ITF play and stay coaching course over 4 days on December 26th, 27th, and January 2nd and 3rd, 2021. Where can they get more information about this upcoming course?
So to get more information through the gntf.org website. They can also register there, or they can also contact Coach Joe at 988-7479 for more information.
And this is going to be at the new tennis facility in Harmon. Who else will be helping out with the course over there?
So besides Coach Joe, there will be Coach Sorgan, me, and I believe Michelle Pang.
And it's going to be a total of 35 hours with 32 hours face-to-face and a couple of hours self-paced online. And this is going to be really good because for more coaches to get certified, it's definitely going to help with, these younger players that want to get better and potentially be part of the board or the federation?
Oh, definitely. This course also is a great way for people who who are interested in coaching. It's a good platform for them to step into the world of coaching, learn new things. And by taking this course, it is also introductory, and it is one of the courses you should take before being certified for ITF Level 1. So that's a great thing that GNTF is offering with this course.
Parents too. You're encouraging parents to come out and take part in this coaches course.
Oh yes, we encourage everyone to take part in this coaching course as long as they're 16 years and older. High school coaches, just anyone who's interested is welcome to take part in the course.
And what's the talk been like with the tennis community, with sports right around the corner, hopefully getting restarted in the next few months? Any talk about what high school might be looking at as far as getting the kids back onto the court?
Yeah, so I've been talking to a lot of my students, and past seasons, you usually play a 8-game pro set, and now they're gonna probably shorten it to a fast 4 style. So first to 4 games wins. So it's a different shift, not what they're usually used to, because even in our past tournaments, it's either full 2 out of 3 sets or even a simple 8-game pro set. But now the first to 4 fast 4 style, it's a different pace. It's a different mindset for these students to take over. You can't really mess around. You have to go in hard, go in quick, try to win it fast. So it's really different. So it's good for them to learn with that kind of mindset in.
And is it looked at? Are you looking at a shorter season, or is it going to be a regular full season of play?
I'm not too sure. I'm getting all this information from my students as they get it from their coaches and their athletic directors as well. So whatever I find out is from them.
And let's drop the social media outlets and information that you want to get out there.
Yeah, so follow us on Instagram, Tennis Academy GU, or check out our Facebook page, Tennis Academy of Guam.
Daniel, anything you want to add?
So if you're interested, we also have that free clinic coming up. Besides the clinic, the one important thing is the coaching course as well. So if anyone's interested, head over to gntf.org and sign up for the coaching course.
All right, well, appreciate you guys for everything you do with the tennis community and helping out the kids with getting their game better. Thanks for coming on the show, and we're going to send it back over to my man, Vic, and the link.
Thank you so much, Double D. 9:19 in the morning. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with the rest of the show here. We got a whole lot still to take care of, but we will be back after this commercial break.
Let's get merry during the most wonderful time of the year by making spirits bright. KUAM and its community partners, McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, and the Guam Museum want to highlight your decorations and lights by flooding the social media pages of KUAM with your videos and photos. Finish your holiday setup, snap a few shots or video of your delightful display, and send it to us through social media or email them to promotions@KUAM.com. Check out our posts every Friday or tune in to KUAM News Weekend Edition for a special montage of the submissions certain to be making spirits bright with every broadcast. Warmest holiday wishes from McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, the Guam Museum, and KUAM Communications. Breaking news! This just in, Santa has a combined $4,000 to give away for Guam's best outdoor holiday display. Submit your outdoor display for a chance to win cash prizes. All submissions will be posted on our Facebook page, and the top 10 most liked pictures or videos wins a special cash prize to make your season even brighter. Visit KUAM.com for more details. GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
We're doing a good job, Guam. In the past couple of weeks, we've managed to keep the car score below 5. Together, we rose to the challenge when the governor asked us all to strive for 5.
In the past couple of weeks, we've not only brought the car score way down from being in the high 40s to below 5, we've shown the governor that we're capable of altering the course of this pandemic. We were on a path to uncertainty, but now because of all of our actions, we're doing better.
But better doesn't necessarily mean that we are out of the woods. We still need to watch our distance, wash our hands, and wear our masks. So please keep striving, Guam.
We got this.
Morning, and we are back on the link. This is the show. Remember, to be brought to you by Calvin Prizes and 19E. We're back with your hosts, Sabrina Salas Matanani, Andy Wheeler in the Zoom room, Jason Salas and Joe Sir. Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back, and we're going to head over to the Guam Memorial Hospital where we have William Kando joining us from the Zoom room. Good morning, William. How are you?
Good morning, Sabrina and Andy. Doing fine. I'm doing really good. Feeling very confident that Guam continues to head in the right direction in response to this COVID-19.
Right. And so, did you get the vaccine?
I was vaccinated yesterday. Yes, ma'am. I was with a group of 5, the first 5 that got vaccinated at GMH. So I was with it was me, Don Robinall, is the Assistant Administrator of Admin Services. Dr. Uggan was with us. There was a nurse with us, and there was one other. Dr. Prince. Yes. So we were the first 5. I guess you could say we were the guinea pigs.
How many at GMH are slated for vaccinations in this first batch? Do you know?
So yesterday we completed 50, and we've got 25 vaccinations in progress going on this morning. And so, the first batch that we got was, I believe, was a batch of 200, and so we'll just get small batches, and that way we don't exceed the once we get that batch, they go into our pharmacy refrigerator, and we have to administer them within 5 days. So we don't want to get too many from public health. We're doing a little at a time, but we're doing them, of course, as expeditiously as we can, because we want to get all of our staff that are willing to participate to take it. It's not mandatory, but highly encouraged, because we do believe in the efficacy of this vaccine.
I know we spoke with Lillian. She was saying that at least 70% of the staff over at GMH were willing, right, to take the vaccine.
That's right. We had a recent infection control fair, and we were surveying the staff as they were going through the fair and taking their post test, and it came out to about between 72 and 73% were indicating that they were willing to do it.
Mm-hmm. And so, have you had any side effects or anything like that since taking it yesterday?
Me personally, I had no side effects. I mean, not even soreness at the site of the vaccination, no dizziness, no fever, and so I'm just feeling very grateful, confident. more confident that this is another tool in our arsenal to fight this virus. And so if this is as effective as the CDC is saying and the FDA, I think this is that light at the end of the tunnel is becoming a little more brighter every day.
Right. Are you guys preparing for, or how are you guys preparing for Moderna?
We have an ultra low temperature freezer that was provided to us from Public Health. It's a Helmer unit, and so we got that a few days ago. But we're just letting it sit. We're not plugging it in. We're letting it sit so to let it settle, let the system and the Freon settle before we plug it in. And so that's a fairly new freezer. They have theirs. Ours is really kind of to serve as a backup, in case they had any kind of glitches with theirs. We don't want to put all of our eggs in one basket for Team Guam, and so we have that one positioned in our former laboratory blood donor room, and it's on a very reliable power source with a UPS, and so we'll be plugging that in very soon.
Okay. Can you give us
that one specifically for the Moderna vaccines?
Can you give us an update on the latest COVID census over at GMH?
So the COVID census, our census today is really this is the best I've seen it in a long time. Our total COVID census is 20, and then our total non-COVID census is at 83. So our total patient census is at 103, and so yeah, that's just the lull that we needed to not only to implement our vaccination plan, but to give some of our staff well-needed rest so that they can rejuvenate and continue the fight.
Mm-hmm. Out of the 20, how many are receiving ICU level of care and are on ventilators?
Okay, so we have in the ER, we have ER holdings 7. So two of them are ICU non-COVID, one of them on vent, and 2 tele PUIs. And then in our care units, our COVID care units, care 1, we have 0. Care 2 became a non-COVID unit, that's 0. Our COVID care 3 unit is 0. Our COVID care 4 unit is 14. This is 2 ICU, 2 progressive care, 7 tele, and 3 medical. And then in our care 5, this is our ICU. This is the unit that we just this past week we split it 50-50. It's a capacity of 14. So 7 COVID and 7 non-COVID capacity. So in that unit, as of this morning, we have a census of 12. 6 of them are ICU with 4 on vents. This is on the COVID side. Okay. And then on the non-COVID side, we have 6 ICU with 3 of them on vents. And then that's it. That pretty much accounts for the 20 census of 20 COVID.
Okay, that was a lot of information.
A lot of numbers.
Usually.
I wanted to ask you, William. So these small batches of the vaccine that you're getting in for the phase 1, 1A, kind of a dress rehearsal from when we supposedly get the bigger shipments. How is the system in place to handle when we do get around to the general public? How's that looking?
That one I don't really have the details on that because that really is owned by Public Health. So they've given us the Helmer ultra low temperature freezer. So that's I believe that because we're gonna be able to very quickly do take care of GMH's staff, and so I really see that Helmer unit and all of our staff right now getting the Pfizer. So when in 21 days after we get it, we're gonna have to get a booster, but that's got to be a Pfizer vaccine. And so this Helmer unit, we're gonna help Public Health store the Moderna vaccines when they come in. And so that'll be our part to support Public Health's island-wide administration plan for the vaccination plan. And so they would really be the ones to give details on how they're going to approach the larger community, which we certainly want to transition to as soon as possible.
All right. Are there any updates on the skilled nursing facility? And I think Lillian was mentioning the HVAC, repairing the HVAC units over there.
We're still on a portable, a loaner. I mean, it's a rental chiller. So the rental chiller is still serving that facility. We don't have any COVID, no patients over there. We certainly want to bring our SNF residents back home to the facility as soon as possible. And so we are in the process of working with a design team to isolate the B wing. There's 3 wings, A, B, and C wing. So we're currently in the design phase to isolate the B wing of the facility, which would allow us to isolate the HVAC system and safely bring the SNF residents back to the facility. We don't want to just bring them back to this facility as it stands, because we still don't know. The unknown is, okay, we still have the potential to get another wave. And so that's why we're planning to do an upgrade. This is actually kind of the first part of a larger upgrade that we're going to do to the facility, because we have a team in the hospital, it's called a COVID Isolation Facility Task Force. And we actually, as a part of this response to COVID, we did a FEMA grant, which was approved, and it's they approved this for over $15 million as a public assistance improvement to that facility. And so this is a kind of a first part of that improvement, and we're going to quickly transition to a much larger design. We'll put the facility under the design, and we're planning to do to upgrade it so that it can do even like up to ICU level, some level of ICU level care. And so that's why it's fairly expensive. But even a part of that upgrade is conversion of a space into a CT scanner room. So we'll be able to do CT scanning at the facility, and we'll be able to do a level of acute care at that facility. It may not be used or ready for this pandemic, but it'll be ready for the next one.
And this is the skilled nursing unit where all this $15 million is going to go toward?
That's correct.
Wow. Can I get an update on the convalescent plasma therapy and the Bamlani VMOB?
I don't have any new numbers on that, just because everyone that would normally give me that information is engaged in implementing the vaccination plan for GMH right now. Okay. So they're pretty. I know the numbers have been. If they have done some additional bamlanivimab and convalescent plasma, I know the numbers are very small. They're just trickling in. We're not doing very much here, just in small numbers. GRMC might be doing more than we are actually, and we have in our collaboration with them, we were actually encouraging them to take a larger load of that kind of therapeutic treatment, so that we don't get inundated at our ER. And so since we're predominantly the COVID hospital, I mean, they are doing COVID care as well, but they agreed that they were more suited to do higher levels of therapeutic treatments. And so that collaboration continues.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, William. Anything else?
No, I'm just asking, we ask the public to just be patient, and that we look forward to that vaccination plan coming to them as soon as possible. So all of you can be vaccinated just like us, and just get past this nasty virus as soon as possible. And just from GMHA, we would like to wish you and your team over there a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thanks, William. Merry Christmas to you and everybody over at
Merry
GMH as
Christmas.
well.
Thank you.
All right, more on the link after the break.
Let's get merry during the most wonderful time of the year by making spirits bright. KUAM and its community partners, McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, and the Guam Museum want to highlight your decorations and lights by flooding the social media pages of KUAM with your videos and photos. Finish your holiday setup, snap a few shots or video of your delightful display, and send it to us through social media or email them to promotions@KUAM.com. Check out our posts every Friday or tune in to KUAM News Weekend Edition for a special montage of the submissions certain to be making spirits bright with every broadcast. Warmest holiday wishes from McDonald's of Guam, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union, Office of the Governor, Island-Wide Beautification Task Force, the Guam Museum, and KUAM Communications. Breaking news! This just in, Santa has a combined $4,000 to give away for Guam's best outdoor holiday display. Submit your outdoor display for a chance to win cash prizes. All submissions will be posted on our Facebook page, and the top 10 most liked pictures or videos wins a special cash prize to make your season even brighter. Visit KUAM.com for more details. GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
We're doing a good job, Guam. In the past couple of weeks, we've managed to keep the car score below 5. Together, we rose to the challenge when the governor asked us all to strive for 5.
In the past couple of weeks, we've not only brought the car score way down from being in the high 40s to below 5, we've shown the governor that we're capable of altering the course of this pandemic. We were on a path to uncertainty, but now because of all of our actions, we're doing better.
But better doesn't necessarily mean that we are out of the woods. We still need to watch our distance, wash our hands, and wear our masks. So please keep striving, Guam.
We got this.
Catch the holiday soundtrack starting December 1st through January 5th. You'll be treated to an all-day festive playlist only on Breeze 93.9 FM. Also streaming on KUAM.com and the KUAM mobile app. Let's spread joy and holiday cheer this season. Holiday soundtrack is brought to you by Domino's. Visit Domino's.gu for faster, easier online ordering.
Brother Elway, all the way out in Palau. This is one of his performances from Live Local Friday, 9:42 in the morning. We are back here on the link with the last bit of, here to close out. Of course, your hosts, Sabrina Salas, Matt Tinati, Andy Wheeler in the Zoom, Jason Salas, and Joe and myself, Victorious. Welcome back to the link.
So we're heading on into the Zoom room where I've been posted up for the past week, and talking to Derek Calvo now. He's joining the Zoom. And DC, what up, man?
What's up, Andy? How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, man. You guys got some big things going on over there at Stroll. I mean, you've been around for a while, and during this pandemic, we've seen businesses, companies have to adjust their plans. So you added this new service, Stroll Courier. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so Stroll Courier, what we wanted to do to combat like our rideshare is really offer a service to Guam that helps people still get their errands done, right? So we offered Stroll Courier. And really it comes from helping the businesses on Guam, the local businesses on Guam, try and stay in business, right? And also helping customers and helping locals on Guam send anything they want to each other. So we've launched that recently, and it's been going very well. I mean, to say the least, our website actually crashed last night because it's just been an influx of orders and stuff like that. So
step up your website game, D.
Yeah. So it's really interesting, right? Because we shifted away from the app development for this type of service, just so we can give further access to everyone, right? So you can call in, or you can actually also go on our website at strollguam.com/courier.
So I want to ask for businesses on the website there. This is obviously a service. It's not just one and done. Are you offering that recurring service for a business? Like, hey, every Friday at 3 p.m., I need this dropped here. Is that, can someone set that up?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can always set it up. So what we're trying to do now is we're contacting all the local retail businesses on Guam and see how we can offer our services to them on the back end. I know some retail stores on Guam have an online platform, an e-commerce platform. So we're figuring out ways to integrate our service onto their platform just to make it easier for the customer to receive their goods instead of coming into the store.
Okay, and what kind of things are you looking at now for the courier service? I know you mentioned businesses, but personal people, I can have a gift sent to work if I'd like.
Absolutely. So you can have anything, pretty much anything sent to anyone on Guam, letters, gifts, documents, packages, as long as it doesn't exceed 50 pounds. Yeah, you can send it to anyone on Guam, and that's what we've been working on. It's been awesome lately. It's been really, really awesome. We're truly blessed at Stroll.
So walk me through, I'm not exactly the most savvy person in the world, so walk me through the actual process. If I have something I need delivered, how do I go about doing it?
Yeah, so the best way, what I recommend for everyone to do is go to strollguam.com/courier. It'll take you to a page where you can actually get a free estimate of how much your courier delivery would cost. And once it tallies the delivery cost, you can click book. And once it goes to the booking page, you just put in all your information for pickup location and delivery location, and also for the person delivering and the recipient. And the best thing is that we have a platform and we have a system where you can track your whole delivery the whole way. So there's some peace of mind there, knowing what time it'll be dropped. You have recent and constant updates via text message, giving you the status of your order. And yeah, it's pretty easy. It's very easy to use. We want everyone to take advantage of it.
So strollguam.com is the website. If you need anything, like you said, documents, bills, letters, grams, gifts, whatever it may be, as long as it's legal, Stroll Guam Courier can help you out.
Yeah, sure.
I had a question regarding like legal documents, confidential documents. How do you handle that?
Oh yeah, so we have bags actually that we handle all the legal documents. Our drivers don't tamper or touch anything when it comes to the legal documents. So when we come and pick up a document, the person delivering actually has to put it in the bag themselves, right? And then we seal it. We don't touch it or anything, and we just deliver it. So like I said, whoever's delivering and also the recipient can contact us anytime to receive the update or status of their order, right? So, and there's just also peace of mind. They'll always get those text messages where you constantly know the status of your order, when it's getting picked up, the ETA of when the person will receive it, or when you will receive it also.
All right.
I know you've been growing the company quite a bit over there. How does the fleet stand right now? You constantly getting more drivers, or how's that working?
Yeah, I mean, man, we've been so blessed. Our drivers are so loyal. We still have rideshare that's actually picking up again as, you know, the restrictions are being slightly lifted. So yeah, our rideshare has been solid. I mean, it's been growing again after we took a big hit. But our drivers, in regards to our drivers, they've just been so loyal. We have a huge fleet, right? We still have on our network about 75 plus drivers that are loyal. Thankfully, we've been helping some of our partners over at Good to Go with our drivers, keeping our drivers get some of that extra income. We've been assisting Good to Go. We've just been funneling them our drivers so that they can just, you know, have some income for the holidays and throughout the pandemic. So yeah, we've been truly blessed with loyal drivers. They've been awesome.
And we've heard from healthcare professionals that there is light at the end of the tunnel, but we can't relax yet. So if you need documents delivered or anything delivered, check out strollguam/courier or strollguam.com/courier for all your needs. DC, thanks for joining the show, man.
Thanks, man. Hey, I just want to make one more comment and one more mention while I'm here. We just launched a subscription platform. So it's $10. It's $9.99 for the subscription. You can go to strollguam.com/subscription. It's $9.99 and you get a flat rate delivery for all deliveries island-wide on Guam. The kicker and the best part about this is that if you subscribe to our subscription platform for $9.99, it instantly enters you for our PS5 raffle giveaway. Whoa. That will be raffling off on the 23rd.
Wow.
Will that PS5 be delivered securely via courier?
That's correct. That's actually what we're doing. We're going to be delivering it via courier. So we're going to get some nice, good content out of that. So, yeah, I mean, the PS5 is just an added benefit. I want everyone to take advantage of courier. The PS5 is just a bonus. I mean, I know it's the hottest item on the streets right now. So we wanted to offer that.
Is that $9.99 like a month, week? What is that?
Yeah, $9.99 a month.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, for flat rate deliveries island-wide of $6.99.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, DC. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas, man.
Shoot, bro.
Seeing you guys.
Merry Christmas.
Take care.
Well, that is going to do it for another episode of The Link. Thank everybody for watching, streaming, and listening. For those of you who still have questions about the vaccine, whether or not will you join the vaccination, we have a lot of exhibits that you can go to our social media platforms to check out, including on YouTube. You can rewatch the interview with Dr. Felix Cabrera. And again, the clinics continue today over at Ukadu High School. For all of us here, Team KUAM, thanks so much for joining us today. Vic?
All right. Thanks.
Andy?
Thank you, guys.
I can't believe next week is going to be Christmas, you guys.
I know.
What a year it's been. And this is just one of those, days that I think we've all been looking forward to since like April. And we're finally creeping up on it. So again, as we've heard from all the doctors that we've had on the show, the healthcare providers, we're not out of the woods yet, but there's a lot of hope. And so we just got to get through this holiday and remain vigilant, keep wearing your mask, wash your hands, practice social distancing, and we're going to be fine eventually.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Wow, we survived a week, Andy. 2 more weeks to go.
2 more weeks? What? Of course I'll be here.
You guys are great. Come on now.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you guys back here same time next week. Until then, we'll close out with half a day holiday cheer being brought to you by Guam Windward Memorial. And here's Joe Guam with another awesome holiday jam. Until then, see you. Bye.
Bye.
Half a Day Holiday Cheer is brought to you by Guam Windward Memorial.
City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air there's a feeling of Christmas. Children laughing, people passing, meeting smile after smile. And on every street corner you'll hear silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Strings of streetlights, even stoplights, blink of bright red and green as the shoppers go home with their treasures. Hear the snow crunch, see the kids bunch. This is Santa's big scene. And above all the bustle you hear silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Strings of streetlights, even stoplights, blink of bright red and green as the shoppers go home with their treasures. Hear the snow crunch, see the kids bunch. This is Santa's big scene. And above all the bustle you hear silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Silver bells, silver